Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, or whatever time it is to you. I'm not even going to presume. We've got everyone here. We had a slightly late Ed Colwyn. We don't have a Vernie per se just yet. She may not be in attendance. We don't know until she randomly turns up. Had a optometrist appointment to get her eyes photoed or whatever it is, examined in fine detail. Anyway, last we left off, we had a young engineer, artificer, cleared of all charges with a fine and a state dinner, somewhat informal, that ended with
Drunken shenanigans?
a certain member of the cartographers naked in a bush, cuddling a naked dwarf.
With his underpants up a flagpole.
Yes, Calder had too much fun. He had a very good time.
Good reference.
Very good time. Thank you.
So if someone wants to give me a recap for Bardic Inspiration better than what I've just done, feel free.
I've spent the last week moving house. I've got nothing.
Yeah, I've been recording and working all week. I've no idea.
Oh, I'll have a go.
Thanks, Tris.
Alright, Golder goes to speak to his to Durin. Great Fist, I wrote down?
Dark Fist.
Dark Fist, yeah, I thought that name was wrong. His cousin had the house. He asked for half plate armor, and the guard, and he says, "God, come here, give me your armor," which was a joke. Told to go see blacksmith tomorrow in Tent City. Varys gets told that that he's no longer in the line of succession. That he and his brother are no longer in the line of succession, as
No, you're not. That you are still in line of succession. You've just been
Not
moved
first
back a
in line.
step.
Until the little hairball was born.
I was never first, but yes, yeah. Although me and Adrian are further down the line now.
You've been moved back a step due to direct inheritance.
Yep.
Potentially. Anyway, continue.
Jadis finds a steel defender and says, "Okay, has anyone fed this thing? It looks like Bastion. Let's feed it alcohol." That was funny.
I mean, she doesn't know any better, but yeah.
It was funny. No.
She also found out who was poisoning her.
That was earlier, I think.
There was a session before.
Yeah. So Varys Golder, someone called Lady Smooth Snow, Grimnar, Raven, Carrick, Adran, Durin all go to dinner. They talk about stories of the. They relay stories of what the cartographers once did. Jadis dances excellently. Lady Smooth Snow acts weirdly, but yeah.
But does send an apology for later.
Yeah.
Which I believe Golder passed on to.
Yeah. And there was a nice quote from, I think, Grimnar: turning wine into water is the darkest of all magecraft.
No, that was Doran.
All right. Still.
But the whole group, the whole four of them were just like horrified of it.
Yeah. Colwyn gets a visit from Kitty, Jack's sister,
Mm-hmm.
and she gets spotted, and amorous affairs are thought. He is sent because Oleg is in town, and he's told kill him, and he's given a dagger of poison, I think.
Dagger of venom.
Dagger of venom, yes. And another good quote: "Is this a booze hound?" In reference to the Steel Defender.
Yeah.
Yeah, if people need quotes, they can watch a session. It's up on YouTube.
Yeah. Extreme laughter. People on flagpoles.
And Tanya was in the best workshop in the world.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Tanya was in the thing. We all go back to back to the performers camp in the morning. Varys had the idea of healing himself of his own alcohol poisoning.
And did.
Mhm.
There's been a request tabled to make Oleg talk to talk before he gets killed.
That was by Colin and the Rogues Guild. They want him brought in for questioning first.
Oh yeah. And Golda says we got to kill him. Never mind.
So Calder's fine with it. It's not that, he has no issue with it. Thing. It's just the delayed execution that's, instead of being quick and merciless, it's slow and painful.
Yeah.
And he seemed fairly fine with that, I think.
Yep.
Yep.
I sent a request to my cousin.
Mm-hmm.
I have to hear back from that, actually.
Jadis got upset because Tanya was mistreating her mistreating
Mm-hmm.
Steel Defender.
the Steel Defender.
Or ignorant kitten.
Yeah. Coleman's new dagger. Varys asks Tanya to help him build something, and Tanya says no, pretty much.
Look for a.
Not really
Yeah.
Tanya's thing.
It was a filler session with character development and introductions and chatter.
It was.
It was also a lot of goddamn fun.
Yes.
Does any of
Anyway.
you guys have lesser restoration?
Anyway.
Yes, I do.
Anyway.
Just one more note. Sorry. Colwyn and Varys have to use inspiration this turn, otherwise they lose it.
Good note.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yes.
You guys finish up your breakfast after discussing thoughts and plans of who's going where, and wanting to see the larger sort of city, because it is quite literally a city of not thousands, but not even tens of thousands, but possibly hundreds of thousands of people. There are caravans carrying food, trade goods coming in constantly.
Mm-hmm.
When I refer to it as a sea of tents, it is stretches for miles upon miles.
Yep.
In the distance, you hear laughing, sounds of music, people yelling out their wares. It's in the distance, and you get further, and you can hear it further out. but there is a very festival atmosphere. And as you know, that it hadn't happened for some time due to the troubles that surrounded the Dark Ascension and the lead up thereof. But every 4 years, the massive cattle drive and the horses and the sales there happen, and this, due to tradition, this just came to be with this trade every 4 years. This, don't get me wrong, Dune City appears every year, but at this, when it had every 4 years, it just goes crazy on a much larger scale.
Got you.
So what's everyone's plans for today? There was talk of doing a bit of a search for Oleg and seeing what information you can find.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
There was talk of seeking out shops.
Yep.
So starting at the top, we'll go from top to bottom. Colwyn.
Right. There are many and varied things. I'm going to assume that Jack is aware of what his sister has asked, and he's not being sent off to quote unquote go rogue with this.
You get the
Because-
impression that Kitty and Jack work hand in hand. That yes, Jack is a public face of the Thieves Guild, but it is a joint leadership. So it's assumed that if Kitty said something, Jack knows about it. If Jack says something, it's assumed that Kitty knows of it or will know of it.
Yes, in terms of likelihood, I'm just ticking that off in my brain. He still needs to kind of the notion in my head is that he wants to kind of meet up with him while he's in the neighborhood, trying to track down Oleg, and basically say, yeah, so there's also this race coming up in a few days. Got this idea with him and the Steel Defender, etc. Possibly seeing if they can enter or what have you.
Who do you want to catch up with? Tenya, or one of the organisers?
Well, first of all, he's going to go to Jack and see. Well, Jack going to say, "Nice idea, but not this year because we've got plans." So before he can even see about trying to get in, he needs to make sure that the Thieves Guild isn't going to say, "What are you doing?"
I will be honest with you. Looking for Oleg is going to be a needle in a haystack the size of a mountain. So yeah, you may get lucky, you may not.
Which is fair. That's kind of why he's.
I'll do my best, but I've got other plans that I need to attend to. Anyway, I'm putting words in your mouth. I'm listening.
Yeah, sorry, slightly confuzzled me there. But yeah, he kind of wants to get that checked out so that he knows how many balls he's having to juggle. And what? Very quickly, guys, what are we shopping for again?
I know that yeah, there's a few things. Benny needed an enchanter to take her weapon to the next level, if possible. I think just people wanted to browse and see what's what. I think Golda wanted to look at upgrading his armor, and Nord wants to look at
Parts.
materials for his new pistol.
Varys needs to find a carpenter.
Oh yeah, for the put together thingy.
Funeral, yes.
But yeah, I think in terms of just keeping it reasonably straightforward, Colwyn's going to ask Golder to come out with him for initial search, and then lunchtime go and check in with Jack and just ask him about the idea of using the Steel Defender in the race. That's my plan. Nice, simple, straightforward. But in terms of what it'll actually achieve, who knows? I'm not banking too hard on it, but yeah.
Right. I am slowly trying to work on a timetable of stuff in the background as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
For the whole thing to be able to present it to you guys a bit. Anyway,
Yes.
that's fine. We'll move down to Golda. So you want to check in with Jack. You want to check in with the organisers and Nord to see what the go is potentially vis-a-vis the
Yes. I'm thinking I'm probably going to
Right.
have to take Tanya along with me to speak to the organisers if I get the okay from Jack, so that she can kind of help me sell it on to saying, this person has made something that could revolutionise travel. And yeah, you get the gist.
there is a whole lot more events here to keep have a poke around at and sort of see what's what as well that might pique people's interests as well. So we'll see what's what and what people want to do. I'm adding to it slowly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which will lead us to who's next. I'm not up where the voice chat is. Gulda, what were you looking at? I know you wanted to look at your armor.
Yeah, and obviously to help Colwyn find Oleg, because he needs to have some answers beaten out of him.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, basically that really is what Golder's looking at. Definitely wants to try and find some half plate or get enough money together to get some half plate.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a big help. I think that's about it, really. He was gonna make a suggestion to Colwyn, but he'll do that in character. So yeah, that's
Yep.
his basic.
Okay, Tenya. No, for starters, you're going to need to look at getting materials for your
Yes,
new
peruse
design.
materials at least for see what she can get hold of, and in terms of what she needs and price, and she'll
Mhm.
also tag along with Colin for
Mhm.
his ideas. That's as much as I have planned, actually.
Mm. So are you guys are planning on rolling around together basically on the whole bit?
She'll
Or
tag
Probably
along
makes
until she
sense.
yeah, she'll tag
Mm.
along with Goldwyn or whoever until she spots
Yep.
any sort of stall or shop where she
Yep.
might find.
Yep. Varys.
Tag along with the group, see if I can find a carpenter. Nothing much else. Did that come through?
Yeah, I'm just making
Yeah.
notes too.
Oh, good. Sorry, just my
I'm
my
making
head's
notes as
cutting
to
out.
what you're actually looking for my elucidation.
Mm-hmm.
Righto. So after finishing breakfast, Jadis looks at you and says, "I'd very much like to join you, but I need to check the costumes, make sure there's no damage to them, and check the stage and do some practice there.
Yeah, okay. That's no problem, lassie. Plenty of time for us to wander around the city.
Yeah, she'll be grand.
Colin,
So-
a quick word.
Mhm.
And I take Colin to one side. Do you
What's the
remember
word, big
in-
man?
What do you remember in Rivers, mate? When we sent all the urchins out looking for Oleg. More eyes would be a help. Do you reckon we can do that again?
Certainly wouldn't hurt. Probably gonna run that by Jack if he hasn't tried it already.
Well, aye.
Yeah,
Aye, just so that we're kept in the loop with it, so that, it's a good idea, because we can't have any of them kiddies getting hurt with Oleg, can we? So
I'd hope not.
they're going to know where we are, so chances are they might have eyes open and find where Oleg is a little quicker. It'll take us forever to find the bug around here.
Too true, too true. Right, he makes a mental note to run that past Jack as well.
Uh-huh. Right, shall we get cracking? I've got some armour to find.
Yep, go on.
At this point, Varys says, "Hey, do you guys remember my idea about possibly Millie looking for Oleg as well?"
Oh, that's a good idea. Thank you very kindly.
And you see Varys like having a chat to Millie like silently and stuff, and he like points to points to Goldar and says, and yeah, has like a little chat, and then Millie takes off and
Okay.
starts searching.
Well, I want you to roll a straight D20 for me. I need at least a 13. And I need to open up D&D. And freaking game lock. There we go.
Oh dear.
Re-rolling and it using my inspiration, and it turned out to be fucking useless.
So you have a great success there, Varys. You hear an immediate chirp from Millie, and she goes and lands on Golda, and you get the mental image. Found him.
Yeah, you probably should have asked Golda for a description.
He looks like Golda but red hair.
Pretty much.
She looks at Golda, and you suddenly see an image of Golda with red hair. It's literally Golda with his hair coloured red, and it is the brightest, most vibrant shade of red.
And when Varys has stopped laughing.
Okay, maybe this plan won't work as well as I thought it would.
I think a better description of Oleg, and I actually give Varys a description. I describe Oleg much better with the scars.
Okay,
and the rest of it.
Golda, you obviously bring up a mental sort of image in your mind as you're describing him.
Yep.
Halfway through you describing him, Millie chirps and sends you back an image, that exact image, into your mind. She is telepathic.
Yeah. And I think and say, "Hey, that's right, my young Millie. That's the bloke that you're trying to find."
She soars up into the air, and
Hey, she's a good in that one.
Golda, Varys, you suddenly see an image of just a sea of people and tents through her
Oh,
eyes. With there's a the emotion you get is just sheer confusion at this point. Not
I'd be
without a
confused too.
little bit of stress in there because she doesn't know where to start. Anyway, she is up there.
He's not coming
keeping an eye
back,
out.
is she?
She's up there keeping an eye out.
Yeah.
To the best of her ability.
Yeah.
You will be able to make investigation checks, but they will be fairly high DC.
Yeah, obviously.
Understood. Needle and haystack type crap.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
You guys are going to have to work for it.
Oh god. Yeah. Not
Which
gonna be. We didn't think it was going to be easy, but
Oh,
you know, the more eyes, the better. The more people.
oh yeah,
looking out.
yeah, definitely.
Right. Shall we away into the city? Let's find one of those guard fellows to ask the way, shall we?
yeah, let's do it. Oh, that. Oh, hey, and then Colwyn kind of hops up, kind of slaps his forehead as if realizing something. Also, literally 2 seconds. Goes into his tent, comes out with the bag of scorpion tails. That Gilda had grabbed for him. I need to see if there's a bounty or a an alchemist who would be interested in these. So whatever we come to first and all that, but I didn't want to leave those rotting in a tent.
Good point. Right.
Yeah, fair enough. Righto. So you guys coming out of your campsite there, you see literally right there guards near the gate of the fortress. You guys are maybe 200 paces from it. 200 yards, sorry. You guys are right at the innermost area of the city, this tent city.
Yeah. Go over to the guards and ask them where we can find the various places. You know, blacksmith and carpenter and.
You recognise one of the guards was on station the other day. Hey, Mr. Darkfist, how are you?
I'm not so bad. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. How can we help you
Yeah,
today?
did the laddie ever get his underpants down off the flagpole?
Oh, he climbed up the rope not half an hour ago to the top of the tower.
Excellent.
Nearly fell a couple of times. We kind of panicked when he nearly fell. He felt horrible. What was the best part? He got to the top and we actually lowered them down on the flagpole. It just the cry of no as they went down.
I love you guys. That's fantastic. That's even better.
Oh, what you like?
Oh, it was a good one. That it was a good one. It'll take him some time to come up with something in return.
He kept
If he
looking
ever
at the
does.
sky and muttering about thunder from a clear sky and Raven being angry.
Aye. Well, you know. Oh dear. Anyway, we've got a few bits of shopping to do. We could do with a few directions. Don't want to get too lost in this place.
Oh, what are you looking for exactly?
Well, I'm looking for some really good half plate. I believe Varys is looking for a carpenter. Colwyn, you looking for anything shopping wise?
Yeah. So we took out these scorpions in the desert, got their stingers here. He says awkwardly, kind of shuffling the sacks, and just doesn't want to go anywhere. Is there a bounty on them or a alchemist place you know that would be interested?
Ooh, alchemist. Oh, there's There's an odd fellow, grey skin. One of them Genesi, born weird folk. Human parents, but they came out a bit odd. He runs a shop. He runs a. It's from Solsgard, I think. He runs a shop called Siphon and Souls here every time the trade gets into swing for summer.
Right.
He might be
Sounds
your best
promising.
bet there.
Sounds very
Out of
promising.
character quickly. Sorry, what was the name of the shop?
Siphons and Souls.
Been back on Skyrim at all?
I've never played Skyrim, man.
You're a better man than I. Enough said. Okay.
Right, and Tanya, what was it that you were looking for? Are you there, Nod?
Nod, are you there? Are you muted?
Mm,
He's here.
Hello. What are you looking for? The guard wants to know what you're looking for. Hello?
hello.
Are you
Paying attention?
slightly inebriated?
No, he's got a monster hangover, Ed.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Answer the question.
Have you been paying attention to what's going on?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm looking for mechanical stuff like tinkering. Do you know of a place?
Tinkering.
Yeah.
You mean like moving parts and whatnot, a watchmaker, some such like that?
More in terms of parts like, and she shows her rifle, like things that I can create stuff like this with.
He raises an eyebrow. We could try the blacksmith, and he turns to Golda. Probably the same one you're looking for there. About the half plate. There's a blacksmith called Night and Day Ironworks. KNIGHT. Night and Day Ironworks.
Night and Day Ironworks. Yep.
Run by. What was his name? Oh, he's a good fellow. Big guy. It escapes me. I'm sorry, but yeah, he does some pretty good work. But I
Excellent.
think you're for the most part you're looking for raw materials to create custom pieces, young lady. Yeah, Tanya. Hello.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna move on from that.
Sorry.
Carpenter. That's gonna be a stretch. I know there's a gardener, a groundsman here. It works in tends the crops in the gardens we have here in the keep. Might be able to. He might be a good one to ask. A scrawny little minotaur. I say scrawny, but I mean he's 6 foot, but for a minotaur, scrawny.
Please tell me he's not a mini minotaur.
He's just a runt.
He's not. I know exactly who he is.
He may know a carpenter. He's pretty good with his hands. He may be able to help you with that. Outside that, we have several carpenters here in the keep.
Okay. Maybe I should be asking around the keep then for this one.
At this time of day, I believe they're all out still constructing stands. I believe that they're working on the arena for the Grand Melee, where we pit bands of groups of adventurers, warriors, whatnot, spellcasters, to test their mettle against various creatures, monsters, last man standing sort of thing. And you put an entry fee in for a prize pool, and say if one group gets to the end of the thing and is successful, they get the whole pool. If two get there, it's divided between the two of them. You get the idea. You pay an entry fee, and basically, say if it was 500 gold, and
That sounds
you
like
had
my
10,
kind of
say you had,
tournament.
I do know that they're working on the stands for that, so I don't think there's going to be any carpenters here at the moment. That, I believe, happens. The Grand Melee starts tomorrow, I believe. So that's, if anyone's interested in that, that is on the western side of the keep at about F10.
Right.
I say F10, but it comes all the way up to the keep. Takes up F10 to F1,
Right.
including F4.
Right.
And closing that down now. Sorry, that was a horrible pun.
It was a bit.
So until very least tomorrow, the carpenters will be busy, and the following day they will be busy again, pulling that back down.
And so you're saying in a couple of days I can like go to F1 for some help?
You can go to F1 for some help in about 2 or 3 days. This is I promise we will stop with the computer jokes now.
I'm quite glad about that, if I'm being honest about it. You silly sod.
I shouldn't laugh. It makes me cough and not breathe.
Um,
Fucking nerds.
I do know there's going to be some races on with the horses later on. Of course, you've got the endurance race beginning on about 2 days from now.
Mhm.
So Grand Melee tomorrow. The day after will be the endurance race. Ooh, about 3 or 4 days they're going to have a small sort of, I think they call it a rodeo in the Riverlands.
Right.
If you can stay on the back of a horse for 8 seconds, you can get some decent money there.
I bet it's a fierce one that you have to hang on to, though.
Oh, yeah. I've seen it a few times. I mean, I did see a man get run over by the bull and gored and whatnot. He didn't live through it. The priest had to put him back together.
Aye, well, that might be something I'd actually be quite good at, funnily enough. I'm quite athletic, you know.
Oh, to be some good money in your wallet
Well,
and your
aye.
con pouch. I mean,
Aye.
it's an elimination contest, obviously.
Well, aye.
So you may have
Aye.
to have a few goes.
Aye, sounds like a good idea to me.
Hmm?
Sounds like it could be fun.
There's
I just feel
also-
sorry for the poor beast constantly being poked at and made to
Mhm.
throw people around. There you go.
Oh, no.
Aye, I'll manage, and the beastie will be fine. I'll give him some dwarven ale.
Oh, that might be considered cheating.
Afterwards,
Oh,
afterwards, have a drink with your opponent. That's the dwarven way.
well, he smiles a bit uncertainly. Outside that,
So as far as this goes, you're suggesting we get the bull drunk before you ride it. Yes, that sounds like fun.
No cheating.
That's not that. There's your general carnival games, festivals, drinking competitions. There's a bake-off tomorrow.
I'm not very good at cooking, but
No,
drinking now.
it's the top of, off the top of my head. I do know that the Science Respite has a ale drinking contest tomorrow.
What was that? Sorry.
The Science Respite has a drinking competition. It's a set of tents similar to what you guys have there, set up as a accommodation and inn for travellers visiting the people who's trying to find a word for what's going on. Looks out at the tents festivities, I guess.
Uh-huh. I get the idea. Where would that be?
I think that is down at E19.
E19, did you say?
Yeah. He brings out a large book, thumbs through it a bit. Yeah, here's the book, E19.
Right.
Looks through
Lads,
it.
I might need to disappear to E19 at some point. No reason.
I'm just
No
gonna,
reason at all.
If I'm
And
not
like I
back by
said,
middle of tomorrow, then come find me.
like I said, Sir Dwarf, that drinking competition comes back tomorrow. Starts tomorrow, not today.
Oh, you
Oh
know,
wait, I think that happens daily. Actually, I think that happens every day.
Oh,
It's every day.
right. Well, I best get the shopping done
The
first.
reason I said I was going to do it tomorrow is because that's my day off. He looks you in the
nice.
eyes and goes, "I'll see you there."
Excellent. Well, as long as we both don't end up like Grimnir, we'll be fine. That's bearing in mind.
That poor man.
I imagine you're saying that blushing bright red.
Is there a difference between her face and the hair?
Not really.
Not much.
No.
Anyway,
Right. Well, thanks.
was
for
there
your help.
anything else you require? Well,
Yeah, it was just the general direction where all the you didn't tell us actually where all the traders.
yeah, easy enough. He's got the Lucerne. He pokes through it, and he gives you directions to, what he's mentioned. And they do have. He literally has the thing where everything's registered.
Yeah, the directory.
Mm.
Right. Thank you very kindly, young man. Top work with the flagpole, by the way.
Raises an
The man
eyebrow.
after my own heart.
Raises the eyebrow and touches his greying hair.
I return his salute and off we go, really.
It wasn't a salute. He's like young.
Right.
Righto. So where are you headed first, guys?
Are we going to work off of what's closest and work our way out?
I think that would make sense, yeah.
Yep, sounds good.
So the closest would be the Siphon and Souls.
Yeah.
Alchemist
Actually,
thing,
is Varys going to see the gardener? That could be funny.
Gardner would literally be in the keep.
But he'd probably say the same thing as the.
I can go see the gardener pretty much any time, I guess, in the keep. So I'll keep with you guys for a bit.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so you make your way out to Siphon and Soul's large tent, several tables at the front, and heavy display cases that are padlocked on them
Mhm.
and chained to the table. Heavy, heavy set tables.
This
Mhm.
guy is serious business.
He looks up
Well, aye.
and smiles as you say this, overhearing it. You know, some very serious merchandise. And you see him, his skin is. It looks almost like he's been burnt. Not
Mm.
black, greyish. Eyes are reddish.
Scar tissue?
Hair's. No scar tissue. It's just the color of his skin. His hair's red, like it's on a shade of flame. And you remember the guard saying something about elemental
Yeah.
corruption.
Mhm.
And basically, he's a fire genocide.
Yeah.
Whoosh. That's the sound of that going straight over my head and Colwyn's head, who may have only heard vaguely about these.
Basically,
victims.
there are elemental race people born with corruption by elemental planes. Basically, this guy would be being tied to the elemental plane of fire, aka the area of Honeyheath.
Okay.
Around it.
Um. Right. I was told that you may have interest in the stingers of the scorpions from the desert.
Oh, those poison sacks that you managed to find. Aye.
Processed or selling?
Raw. And he kind of indicates to the sack across his back.
May I see them? But my question remains: are you selling them, or are you asking someone to process them?
Well, what can they be processed into?
They can be diluted so that you have the concentrate. Oh, sorry, they can be distilled so that you can have the concentrated form of their venom to apply to a weapon.
Mm.
That does sound useful.
Yeah, it does. I could probably do with a couple of those. I mean, I'm willing to sell 2 and have 2 of them turned into concentrate for some important work I'm carrying out.
I take it you're showing him the.
Yeah,
He looks at them, inspects them. I could give you 400 gold per, and they seem fairly undamaged. And I can probably get several doses out of each. The distillation process, I would, since you're providing the materials for labor, I would charge you 100 gold in total, which I can take from the amount that I'd give to you for the other, which I think would be 700 gold. You said you have 4 of them, sell 2, and have 2 distilled.
yeah, that's right. That sounds like a fair price to me. And if you're on the lookout for anything else while I conduct my other business, I'd be more than happy to send it your way.
Okay. That would be quite all right.
Yeah, and so he probably needs someone's help to get them up onto the counter carefully,
Yeah, I'll
and
help.
then and then sort of thin smiles as waits for sack load of gold or equivalent.
He hands you, counts it out, and hands you a pouch with 700 gold in it. Takes
Nice.
the 4 stingers. If you come back sometime this afternoon, I should have those dosages prepared for you. I imagine I'll probably get 4 or 5 applications.
Nice.
Works for me, as long as all parties are happy. Good times.
Quite happy. I can sell these for probably about 800 per dose, and I should get at least, as said, 5 or 6 doses out of it.
Nice.
Everyone's a winner. I do love a happy ending.
As far as this goes, I'm really surprised the guards in the desert haven't caught on to this yet.
Well, not everyone is willing to pay as much, and if this is a guy who is traveling to this place for this purpose,
Yeah.
not everyone is going to necessarily go out there to hunt them, and also they're not necessarily going to keep well for a long time. Yeah, you might be able to put it in like a vat of vinegar or equivalent, but then it's saying, right, well, that's kind of diluted it, so you're only going to get X amount, and someone's thinking, I'm risking my life for this.
Also, knights in honor and moral, not using poison sort of thing.
There's a whole thing.
Yep.
Right. Well, that's one jobbed. Be back, if not later this afternoon, then early tomorrow to pick up the doses. Okie dokie, gentlemen, unless you've got any other questions for the proprietor of this fine establishment.
Have you ever heard of a group called the Shadowed Hand? I'm willing to bet your answer is no, given how they operate, but just asking.
Eyes you warily, doesn't say anything. Roll. Are you
Insight?
persuading, or what are you doing there? You can go for insight if you want.
I will try and persuade him to say, and I'll say, I'll try and persuade him. I'll say like, it's okay, dude. I will leave if anything happens to this, I will leave you 100% out of it. Okay.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage. From the way you've said it, isn't real convincing. Remember, how you phrase things to me as your player, as your character, also
Yeah.
reflects on how I'll see it. He grudgingly goes, I've heard of them. Doesn't say anything else because you only asked him if he's heard of them.
Understood.
Well, if there's nothing else, we'll be going. Thank you for your time.
Out of curiosity, why do you ask about the Shadow Hand?
These guys have tried to kill my family and all that, and that.
He leans forward, looks at you. Chillicent? How's Chillicent?
Yes. If certain information.
He holds up his hand.
Just to quickly interject, we're getting some reverb on Tristan's mic when he's talking. I'm not sure if it's doubling up through something.
Say something from interest.
Something.
Yes, coming through mine. It's sensitive. Picking it up. Give me a tick. We'll keep going. In just one moment, let me just make a quick adjustment here. What it is I reset my excuse me, I was having issues with Discord.
Right, got you.
Not at all. Say
Yeah,
something
you
for
are.
me, Tris.
Now you're coming through.
Is Tris echoing there, guys?
No.
Perfect.
No.
Good.
I was having issues with Discord the other day, and one of the things I tried was a complete fresh install.
Right.
So a lot of my settings have reset, and I didn't realize it had reverted to automatic,
Got you.
and I never have it on automatic. He holds up his hand as you start to talk again. If you'd be so kind, gentlemen, would you care to step into my tent?
Of course.
Walks in.
Intuition first. Insight. I want to know why.
Yeah, roll for me.
$14.
Seems guarded, but concerned.
He's not about to jump us.
No,
Okay, that's
there's
all.
no sense of hostility from him.
Okay, all good. At least I go in.
Okay. So
Well, I'll
you
go in as well.
go on. Tanya?
Yeah, can't leave him alone now.
Yep. So you'll head in. He kneels down before a short table. Knees in front of it, sitting on a cushion. Might I offer you some tea, gentlemen? Ma'am.
Tea
Aye.
sounds nice.
He pours tea, bing, 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 bing around. Before you can do anything, he lifts his cup, drinks from it to show that it's safe.
I drink too.
I drink.
I drink too, and I think okay, and I think okay, if this is poison, remember how I heal. Remember how I heal. In the back of my head.
He looks at you and goes, "Go on, Ed. Sorry, you're going to say something."
Of course, the thing about being a man in my profession is that you don't poison the tea, you poison the cup.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Would it be what kind of check could I use to?
That's a really good question.
Because in my head, I'm thinking, okay, on one hand, it could be described under medicine. It's not nature because it's not something of nature.
Honestly,
I want to say survival, possibly.
I'd say either survival or investigation at this point.
I would like to put the case forward for using survival.
Okay.
If you're checking for a poison, it's more likely to be medicine because you
Yeah.
want to know how to interact it.
No, this isn't to see how it interacts. That'd be
Okay,
knowledge
if
of
it's
poisons. This is to check for a smell or a texture or whatever that on the cup itself that is out of place, which I'd say is investigation.
Perception?
Perception would work, but
Yeah.
honestly, I'd go with investigation because he's giving it a...
Permission just to, in which case, take it as a wisdom roll.
Okay.
And I've got my re-roll that I can use.
I see your perception there. I can see why you want to. In your
Okay.
investigation, sorry.
Is that enough to
So
confirm or?
basically, you get there, you run your finger lightly around the edge of the cup and turn it a few times gingerly, as if the heat from the cup itself. He watches you, smiles, and goes, "I have not poisoned the cup or any of the cups." You've had...
Force of habit in my profession.
He looks at you, goes, "Grants all trade, grantsman, shadow hand."
Amongst others.
There's very little cross loyalty between them. You, if it's fealty to one. They may sort of have a double agent here and there, but there is always fealty to one. I myself
course.
am a member of the Shadow Hand. But having said that, and he raises his hands defensively, there are factions. It seems to me there is a faction within my own organization that is working to ends that we do not wish. We
Quickly
have
out of character.
Mhm.
Apologies for cutting you off. But do you want me to make a history or an insight check to see if I can remember what the Shadow Hands are? Because it's been a while. Just needed to refresh my memory.
Were you there for when Varys was talking about it? Honestly, as a member of the Thieves Guild, you'd probably know the law. They were an Elven Assassins Guild that was driven out of the Elven lands and tried to set up shop in the Riverlands and Urthus, in Solsgard, sorry, and were thought to be eliminated by between the Thieves Guild and the Assassins Guild that already existed there.
Right.
But there's been signs that there's a resurgence happening. I myself am a member of the Shadow Hand, though it seems that there is some signs of a faction within my organisation that are working towards ends that we do not wish. I say that I'm a member of this guild. I am an associate, so to speak. I provide them with goods, artifacts, magical equipment, weaponry. I am a merchant who has affiliations, but I still count myself as a loyal member of said organisation. I know that they wish to return to their homeland, but to kill a man who is one of the most highly placed officials within the council of the Great Wood it's insane. It is no way to gain acceptance and to make a return to their homeland.
Does this faction have a name?
The Shadow Hand? Or do you mean the faction within the faction? I do not believe so.
Within the faction, young man.
And so there's no way of recognizing them. They're not like the true sight or something equally mysterious yet cliched.
I do not believe so.
Well,
I did.
Oh dear.
He pauses and goes, I did see some of the members here heading to the talking earlier at my shop, talking about meeting someone at the Sands Respite this afternoon. It sounded like they were meeting someone not from the guild, but in the same line of operation.
I see. Now that's interesting, isn't it, Colwyn?
yeah,
wonder who
Golden,
that could
describe
be.
our target.
So I describe Oleg.
There are no. I have not met this man. I've never heard of them. I do not believe there are dwarven operatives within the Shadow Hand.
Well, if they're meeting somebody outside your guild, your Shadow Hand, it might be him.
Now, I apologize for this, but I would ask that you do not resist. And he speaks a word and activates a agent that was within the T. I need you all to make a Constitution saving throw as he activates a memory modification draught that was within the T. He's going to leave you with the information, but not how you got it.
Right.
Is this a form of being charmed?
It's a memory modification. I need a.
Is it a poison?
It's not a poison. It's a.
Because I've got advantage on con checks against.
Oh
poison.
yeah, go for it. You'll have advantage on it. It's chemical by nature. That makes you susceptible.
Not magical.
It's magical. It is magical.
Oh, it is
yeah,
magical.
I think I might have passed that one, Ash. I
Yeah.
critted and got a 19, and I've got advantage, so that's the crit.
So
26.
you will watch as Varys gets a very blank expression on his face.
Did I pass? 15?
Tell you what, I'll make a roll myself and see if you passed. You'd be the only one that wouldn't have. I'm fucking go into Colin's sheet here, since I don't have it open. Lovely.
I mean, Tanya should have her fair
Just
bit
give
of,
me a second. Patience, lad. Patience, lad. Calm your tits. You did not pass. Golda, Colin.
I was just about to say that she has her fair bit of experience with memory modification at this point.
Yeah, but this was from a chemical agent in there, enhanced by a chemical agent that you were fighting against to make you more susceptible to it. He's laced this with a magical thing. So, Golda.
Yep.
Colwyn, you're sitting there staring at him, and out of the corner of your eye, you see Varys and Tenya get this very blank expression on their face. He looks at the two of you and goes, "Well, this is awkward." Tenya goes,
I wouldn't worry about it too much, sir. It looks like we're working towards the same ends here.
He
Secret's safe with us.
looks at the two of you and goes, "One moment." Looks at Tenya, Varys. You will not remember where you got the information from, but you'll remember that there is a meeting at the Sansa spot this afternoon between the Shadowed Hand and someone of a opposing faction organization. You will not remember being invited into tea by the artifice, the enchanter, Singe Smokeheart.
Yeah, whatever.
I whisper in the guy's ear.
He looks at you and goes, "All trade, correct?"
All trade.
Yeah.
What do you want
Kind
done
of shrugs.
What do you want done about the wayward members of your faction? Do you like them dealt with, just in case we have to?
If you can bring me evidence that they have betrayed us, there would be certainly be a reward in it for their re-education,
Got ya.
permanently re-educated.
Got ya.
We don't know nothing about re-education.
Oh God! Permanently enlighten them as to what happens when one betrays people in our line of work.
Done and done.
He looks at Golden and goes, "I see. I've got to be a bit more obvious with this one."
Well, you know.
I read books.
Do they have big pictures and big words?
Okay, I want to make a quick check to see if I can insult him badly in Goblin.
Roll an intelligence for me.
Okay. Boo. The grass that grows on your back is yellow.
He's a Ganassi, not a goblin.
Yeah, but I figured that would probably be the closest thing that he kind of came to as he's coming off the ends of the effects of the tea.
He looks at you, blinks, and he speaks, but it sounds like a raging fireplace, a raging fire burning as he speaks. And then stops, goes, I can speak in other tongues as well. Isn't it fun?
Golder's chuckling to himself. All right, let's wander on our way. Interesting to meet you, sir. Interesting merchandise you have here.
Would you like to look some of it over?
I don't see why not. What have you got in the way of sort of healing potions?
Oh, healing potions. We have some, probably brings you out the front, looks in the case. The ones, the lesser variety, we have 4 available. I believe we have, give me 1 second. I have too many tabs open. Where did my sane magical processes go? It just disappeared. We have potion of lesser healing, 4 of, and 1 of the potion of greater healing.
Mm-hmm. A lesser healing. How much are you
It'd be 50
selling them
gold
for?
per. So it'd be 50 gold per for the potion of healing. The greater healing, it'd be 150 gold.
Right. Like a couple of potions of lesser healing would be
That would be 100 gold, I say.
a good move.
He opens the thing, and he's got to move a rod out of the way to get there. So he picks it up, lifts it up, depresses something on the side of it, lets it go. It hangs there in the air, and he reaches in and pulls out 2 of the potions, puts them on the table, reaches up, presses something again on the thing, and puts the small rod back in the case and closes it and locks it again.
Yeah, I'd hand over the 100 gold and put a couple of potions in my pack if I could find it on me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll look for it. I've taken 100 off, so.
Mm-hmm. Too easy. Was there anything else that you would be interested in? At this point, Tenya, Varys, you blink, see Golda pocketing a couple of the potions. Was there anything else you'd be interested in there? Spreading his hands and gesturing to his wares.
What else have you got? You know, let's just.
He points to the rod. That is, as you saw, it is an immovable rod. You bring it out, press a activation switch on the side of it, and it stays where you placed it. Very useful. He points to a hat there in the middle of the case. This is a hat of disguise. put it on,
Interesting.
and you can make yourself look like someone else.
Interesting.
I can
Points
do that.
to a small pearl in the case. That is a pearl of power.
Ooh.
I have a list here, but got to put descriptions there of stuff. You can use an action to speak its command word and gain 1 expended spell slot.
Ooh. Well, I
But
don't
you can
use the
use
magic
it.
myself.
You can use it once per day if you useful if you are a spellcaster.
Well, yeah, pearls of power are really useful for people, particularly healers actually, because you can always have a healing spell there.
Mm.
You've always got a spell slot for a heal, just as a point.
So basically, it allows you to regain spell slots. Very useful. Very good for an arcane practitioner such as myself.
Mm-hmm.
We've got looks around and points to a bit of a chain and a stone. This is an iron stone of protection.
Oof. Iron stones are probably not going to be cheap.
Cool.
What does it protect you against?
It
Or does it just add
makes you
to your
harder to
armor?
hit. It increases your ability to with attacks.
Right.
Out of character, it gives you a +1 bonus to your AC.
Oh, hello. What sort of price are we looking at these iron stone thingies?
The iron stone would be 1,200 gold.
I see. I've got a little bit of work to do before I can afford that one.
The pearl of power would be 6,000 gold. Obvious. We have several scrolls here as well. If you're a spellcaster, points
Interesting.
to several scroll cases. In another case, a spell scroll of a lower level of ability, say the first circle of learning, would be 60 gold. The second, 120. Third, 200. I think I have 1 or 2 there of the 4th level. Would be about 320 gold.
Right.
Sorry, my sound wigged out. What was this you're talking about?
Spell scrolls. And the prices there.
This photo says, "Have you dealt with many have you dealt with many warlocks over the years?"
I have known 1 or 2. And he brings back and points out the Pearl of Power. I believe that you have less ability to cast spells. A Pearl of Power would grant you ability to cast an additional spell per day.
Hmm.
So
1,200 gold.
it is 6,000 gold
Oh, the
for the
pearl
Pearl
power
of Power.
6,000. Right.
Say if you were a younger warlock, newer to your patron, you might have, say, 2 ability to cast 2 spells per day. This would give you half as much as again. So instead of 2, you'd have 3.
Mm.
I do find the spells I use the most tend to be the ones which don't have a limit, though. But thank you for your information. I was wondering if there were any magical items out there designed for warlocks in particular.
Yeah, it would be very powerful for a warlock, but it's for any person of arcane persuasion could use them. As say this young lady, she said that she can disguise herself through arcane means. So I assume she is some form of arcanist, maybe a wizard or a sorcerer.
Who are you?
Singe Smoke Heart, you came up, I introduced myself as the proprietor of Siphons and Salts, the magic
Right,
emporium that you're at here. We've been talking for
right.
some time now.
Uh,
I'm feeling
that does
slightly
not
faint.
make
I'm going to go and get something to eat back in a bit.
Okay.
You say we've been here a while. That does not make sense to me.
Hmm.
We have, Lassie. I mean, if you've zoned out looking at all the shiny things, that's fair enough.
He does have
Uh,
some shiny things.
As
I
I
mean,
said, I do have several scrolls, like scrolls of silence, scrolls of Leomund's tiny heart,
the
scroll of comprehend language.
how much would a scroll of silence cost me?
Can't remember what level silence is.
I am quickly looking it up. It's almost like the DM knows what he's looking for. That would be a spell of the second level would be 120 gold.
120 gold.
Mhm.
I will take that.
Okay. He
Nice.
reaches into the case, unlocks it, opens up the case here, pulls out, goes through the scroll cases, examines them, looks at it, pulls one of the scrolls out of one of the cases, offers it to you, takes your
Yep.
money, and bang, you've got a scroll of silence.
Yes.
It's
Thank you
almost
so
like I
much.
know what you people were looking for, even though you'd forgotten you were looking for it.
Funny that. Yeah,
Thank you
scrolls
so
of
much.
silence are bloody useful.
Not for the reason he's looking for it.
Fair enough.
This is for a project.
This is for project.
Oh no, I gather what Tanya's looking for it for.
Yep. Anyway,
I do have another question to ask. And
mm,
as someone who is relatively new to magic, is there some way of transferring a healing spell to a liquid or something to like make my own healing spells? I realize it would probably end up being very expensive, but given
you possibly want to talk to either a herbalist or alchemist on that one. I have potions here, but I do not manufacture them.
it would be very good if I could use my excess spells to create to create future healing.
As I said,
Well,
you'd be in that case. I do not believe you can do that. I do believe that you can manufacture it through various herbs and alchemy to create healing potions. But you'd have to speak to someone like an alchemist. I believe there is a herbalist or gardener of some sort within the keep who's quite skilled. May be able to
Tanya
steer
raises
you.
her hand for Varys's attention, and she goes, "Well, if you do get the materials needed, I could probably help you make some potions."
In all honesty, I was hoping it'd be easier and I could just cast a spell on a bottle of water and at the end of the day and it becomes a healing potion. But never mind.
Shakes his head and
There,
goes,
I don't.
"It does not work that way, unfortunately."
Wishful
Yeah, I
thinking,
don't.
though, right?
Mm-hmm. If you're looking for a way to store spells, you would be looking at something like a ring of spell storing.
Yeah.
He says, "I don't have one of those artifacts here, but best of my knowledge, that would be fairly expensive, I believe." Give me a ticket, I will tell you how much it would be.
A couple thousand, I think.
Yeah. Ring. It'd be 24,000 gold.
Yeah, your Uncle Ink's bringing for one of those.
Thank you, anyway.
But yeah, I mean, if we can get hold of herbs or other materials, I can make potions, and it will cost less.
I know that when I come here, I generally confer with the groundsman here. He calls himself a gardener. Up at the keep, tends to the fields and the gardens that the Dragon Watch have. I believe his name was Denson Jagged Hug. Hud?
That's the one.
Yeah, no, that was in character, not me. I know his name. I've got it right here.
What was the name again? Sorry, Jensen.
Denson,
Denson.
DENZEN.
ZIN.
Yeah, IN. Okay, I'll fix that on my notes.
And Jacob Hyde, you said with the surname?
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to
Sorry.
DM the name to you before Phil gets all offended at us.
Is
There you go.
a
This
backup
may
or something?
be a backup PC.
Uh-huh.
Very interesting one.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave you a note there. I just had to make a few adjustments on one. Basically, I adjusted a woven poison down.
Much
Which is
appreciated. Yes, I did. I had been meaning to ask for that, but there was a lot going on, and I figured it could.
I
wait.
was in the process of working on it. I just hadn't quite finished it. Had it sitting there for a bit, so I hadn't sort of finalised it quite properly.
It's cute. Ooh.
Um,
Oh, are
he
you
does.
taking it?
He was there. If there was nothing else, he
No, that I can think of, sir.
reaches out to shake Golda's hand. It was a pleasure meeting you.
You too, sir. Very enlightening.
You feel something pressed into your hand,
Mhm.
and I do hope you find that your needs have been met, and I will be here for the duration of the trade season.
Excellent. Well, depending on what I need, I'll have a think about other things that I might need in the future, and I like this shop, so I'll pop in perhaps and peruse some more. Very, very good conversation and excellent service. Thank you, sir.
Phil,
Yes,
sorry, Gilda,
yes.
looking down at your hand, you see a small note that's been pressed into it.
Mm-hmm. I'll read it when I get a minute.
Yep. I will DM it to you.
Thank you.
So where are you guys going from here?
Well, what's the next closest place?
Very quickly, I was going to say that Colwyn just got outside and got a carve and something from one of the street vendors to eat.
There
So
would definitely be one somewhere.
I was also going to suggest possibly a brief break in a bit.
No, it is nearly midday, isn't it? For us.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, why not do it now as we're about to move on?
There you go. That's
Ah,
what that
gives-
message. That was what that note had on it.
Thank you. Where's the next nearest place?
From where you are, the tavern would be next closest. The blacksmith is further out away in its own section, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think shopping first and then, because the drinking competition's not till later, is it? What does
no.
everybody think?
Shopping first. May as well make our way to the Night and Day Ironworks.
Aye, sounds like a good idea to me.
Yep.
I don't have any more spending money other than party funds.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry too much. How much have we got in the party funds, by the way?
We have, if my mouse will work, there we go. Bag of holding. We have 383 gold as party fund.
Oh,
Right.
there's some big money available from some of the events. Even the smaller events, you'll get a little bit out of. Like the drinking competition, you can get a little bit out of.
Yeah.
There's a
Right.
lot going on that you can test yourself at.
Well, going around and finding how much things are going to be, like his armor and stuff like that, it gives us a figure that we can all aim at. You know what I mean? So if we go around the shops, figure out what we need, and then go and do the events, I think it's probably going to be.
Well, a lot of the bigger ones are going to be over the duration of the thing. Like I said, the next big one, the first big one that happens is going to be the green melee tomorrow. You know, which first place is. I'll say you now it would be 10,000 gold, but that's split between whoever makes it to that final round. You know, it's a free round thing.
I'm not.
Split between whoever many people get to that last round.
Too bad I'm not really much of a melee person, though.
I say grand melee, but it's not about melee. It's a group of
Okay.
people using whatever means, spells, fighting, whatever, against a creature. Say, you might fight a troll or whatever. You don't know what you'll be up against until you get into it.
Yep.
I think that might be a good idea, considering the stuff that we all need.
Yeah.
And we're not so
I
bad at the
agree.
old fighting.
Then,
If you can
like,
keep me up right, you're in with a chance. What
You've
say,
got-
what says everybody else? I mean, we'll have to ask Jadis, of course, when she's when we meet up with her. But it kind of sounds fun to me.
I'm very interested.
What about you, Cole and Varys? You fancy a go? We go at it.
As fun as it sounds, it does not seem like something someone on my station would be involved in. Nothing personal.
I want to keep a relatively low profile. Only I'm myself known to the correct people, and if I get seen, chances are that that's going to make its way back to my foes. Don't want to make it too easy for them, so I'm going to dip on that one.
All right. Disappointing. That's a lot of money.
It is
Can you?
a lot of money.
We could try and persuade Raven and Grimnir if they'd be up for it.
Oh, that would be brilliant. Let's make sure Grimmer is dressed though.
I think he's dressed by now, lassie.
the
Despite
question
the
is,
guards winding him up.
question is, would they allow two of the cartographers into the competition?
No harm in asking.
I mean, it would make for a spectacle.
I would. But the competition that would be up against would be harsh.
Oh yeah. I mean,
If you've got two cartographers on your team, yeah, they're gonna up the ante considerably with the old monsters. You know?
but Colin and Ferris, either of you don't have any abilities to like disguise yourselves or anything.
That's a good point. Does your spell to disguise yourself work on other people? Or is it just on yourself?
Her tattoo flares up from her neck and then covers her face in a different pattern. I'm sorry, it's not like I can transfer this to anyone else. No.
Ah,
Are you still standing there at Siphon and Souls?
Colwyn's outside munching on a sandwich.
scroll
He's
of that
probably
nice. Scroll of something to disguise somebody's self.
Are you talking about the Grand Melee?
Yeah.
Would you consider entering it under sponsorship?
Go on.
That's an interesting.
If you're worried about being recognised, I can provide a spell that would alter your appearance, but a certain percentage of your winnings would be mine. Hence, a sponsorship.
And the percentage is?
Well, they can be negotiated.
Right. Okay. Well, might I suggest if our two friends, Colin, Varys, this gentleman's got an interesting proposal for us. He sponsors us for
well,
shares of loot. You two get completely disguised so that they don't know who you are.
well, I'm not opposed to the plan. Although my only other issue is time. The elements of which, going forward, and if we can fit all that in, I mean, no offence meant, but my business has to come first.
Of course, of course. But
What
that's
if I might
fair
inquire
whack
what your
back,
business is? If I might be so rude.
Not rude at all, but I hope
As
you
a
don't
note,
think of...
Colwyn, you were not out from the. Well, you were there and aware of the conversation you had with this gentleman.
Oh, right, I wasn't sure, because I had the feeling that
No,
he
it was only Tenure and Varys that were. So you were there and cognizant of the whole conversation you had.
Right. I wasn't sure in terms of the language that's being used, and I didn't want to roll over things. But if that's the case, because I was kind of playing him as being slightly a bit like feeling there's something going on here. I'm trying to keep it together, etc. But yeah, so kind of goes, and he kind of looks to Golda as if to say, "Should we talk about this?"
Golda sort of just goes sort of later. And right, so this gentleman's proposing that he disguises you for a share of the loot.
He
And considering the loot's considerable at 10
Can I make
grand.
Please go on, Asher.
Can I make a suggestion?
Mhm.
You're seeking this gentleman, this dwarf, you said.
Mhm.
Wouldn't it be easier to trick him into coming for you by making yourself stand out rather than seeking him?
He's not the only one I'm afraid of.
Well, aye, but if he sees me, he'll probably come for me anyway. Hey, doesn't he like me? At all.
But he'll be competing, not necessarily against us mano a mano, but we could still try. That's not a bad idea.
My point being is, if you advertise that you're there and he sees you, and you don't make it any secret of where you are, is it, here I am, come and get me, baiting a trap, so to speak.
I'm sure I can get the word out that I'm there.
Well, taking part in the Grand Melee would definitely.
People would be talking about you all day and night.
Aye. That's exactly it. Well, Colin, Varys.
At this point, Varys says, "I need to know more about this competition. You see, well, I'm already in the middle of planning a funeral, guys. I do not need my uncle to be planning a second one."
Well, you don't
No harm
die.
comes to any participants. Clerics of soul are on hand to heal any wounds, perform any resurrections, etc.
Yeah.
Though we
nobody dies.
generally try to prevent the actual deaths in the first place. There will be guards on station to step in if things look to be going for the worse.
It's a competition. It's not to the death or anything.
Oh,
Well,
people have been
not
known to die.
barbarians, you know.
People have been known to die in the competition. It's just temporary.
Well, aye. I'll be up
The
on the feet in no
competition
time.
guarantees the safety of all and long-term survival of all participants.
Well, I
Not
understand
necessarily
that
the monsters, but not necessarily of the creatures, but of the contestants.
Sorry, go on. Yeah, I understand that our noble friend here might be afraid to break a nail or something. So we'll
I am not afraid to break a nail. I'm looking out for my uncle and my family who are already grieving. The way you guys look at me and judge me is not acceptable. He turns and walks out.
Fair enough.
Tanya shrugs.
You see, stuff like that is why you needed an advocate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to like the guy, but Sure. Right. Okay. So he's made his feelings on the matter clear. I'm open to it in theory, but if something comes up in regards to my main job here, that has to take priority. So
Oh, that's understood.
you can pencil me in, but if something comes up, I've got to jump into action. You know.
Yeah, we
Uh,
could do
as
with
I
having a
said-
word with.
As I said, it seems to me that this would be a very good way to draw attention to yourself, to lure them out.
Right. I think it would be a very good idea. We'll have to have a word with
He-
Jadis when
he-
we find it.
He motions to the tents. Sometimes in a situation this city is large, it's temporary, and there are no foundations for an organization that have been there long term. It is easier to stand out and have someone find you than to find them.
Agreed. I like the plan. Colin?
Yeah, like I said, in theory, I'm down. So we'll see how this goes.
Right. Right. Percentages then.
Well, depends if we're going to need the disguise or not.
Look, if
can
Golda
discuss
wants
it.
to show, yeah. How about we come back here at the close of business and wrap it up together?
I'll be here all month, several months, until trade stops.
Excellent. Well, we'll come and talk to you as soon as we can. We need to try and persuade one of our other colleagues to be in on this with us. But past that, if the elf's not going to be there, we'll need to make provision for that. You know, the odd healing potion or something like that. Because he is our healer. So,
At this buddy, what's his name? I've lost it. Singe looks at Tanya and goes, "What you said and the way you approach it was not called for."
Yeah, perhaps.
I think you owe your friend an apology. I'm assuming that you're all friends.
aye, for the most part.
Well, there's not anything bad meant by it.
Did they understand that?
No,
Probably
I
not.
think you'll have to find Varys and apologise to him, Tanya.
Yeah, this could go very poorly in my.
Don't worry, I'll see if I can't tee you up.
Anyway,
No.
it's a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to any future business endeavors. Smile.
Absolutely. Thank you very kindly for your all your help. Shake his hand, and then off we go. And
Out of character, yeah. As far as that goes, out of character, I just want to say, I'm just being in character with that stuff.
Oh
no,
yeah,
you're perfectly fine.
100%. In
Yeah.
character. I mean, as much as I'd love to do it in as like me, my character would be concerned about, and it's not. And he's and he is also pissed off about the way that he's treated daintily and such. So
No, you don't have to justify it, dude. That what you
No, it's fine.
expressed
Expressed
was.
character. We
yeah,
understand.
it was really well done.
It was. But it's like, well, Golda doesn't have a problem with Varys at all. He actually sees Varys as very useful, very and quite skilled healer. So he doesn't have a problem with Varys at all. He doesn't see him as.
I mean,
dainty.
Tanya doesn't have a problem with him either. It's just like in her mind, she kind of sees him as a noble as their discovered he is earlier on from the beginning. It's always been like the whole mind thing and everything. So she's kind of like seeing him as like more of a well, perhaps avoiding
Anyway,
adventures.
Yeah. We don't need to get
It's-
too buried on this.
Anyway, it's
No,
10
no,
past 10. Do we want to take 15 there or?
I think so, yeah,
I
because
think
that
we're
also
about to
allows
move on,
to.
aren't we? So
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Yep. Righto. So we will pause it there and we'll come back to it.
Grand.
Okay, so welcome back. Welcome back. I believe our motley crew is finished with Siphons and Souls and are slowly wending their way across the camp towards Night and Day Ironworks. As you are traveling along, you see a small set of tables, and it looks like it's a tent with a bar, a drinking facility where there seems to be some sort of arm wrestling contest going on. On another table, they're pulling out pies, and there's contestants there, and looks like there's a pie eating contest starting up. Here, there's a few various little competitions and games going on. So you continue going through. There's a another area where they got large wooden blocks. Guys are racing to see who can cut through these big wooden blocks first. Golda, you stop and pause for a moment when you see what looks to be literal people having a slapping contest. And you see one man fake out another one. The guy flinches, and the first man puts his arms up and roars in victory.
Mm-hmm.
Another contestant, a pair of contestants, you see a man stand firm, and his opponent, hand moving with blistering speed, slap him so hard that he gets knocked off his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And you continue on. There are some crazy people out there.
Yep.
You finally arrive at the Night and Day Ironworks. Largely sort of tent, several mannequins with armor pieces, weapon racks, a burly halfling smith pounding away at an anvil, several apprentices, a human there, a tabaxi there.
Mm-hmm.
He seems to be having an offhand conversation with a tall, not tall, medium height, slender man, not really all imposing, and he nondescript. He kind of blends in with the background. This nondescript man looks up as you approach, smiles, says something in parting to the blacksmith, and wanders back across the way to his own store. I was following him. You see him go to what looks like a tailor's shop.
Mm-hmm. As we're walking, I surreptitiously slip that message that I got into
Colwyn's
Colwyn's
hands.
hands.
Yep.
Yeah, so do you want to send it through or shall I?
You kidding me?
Right.
Into whose hands, sorry?
Yours.
Thanks. Colwyn reads it, eyes narrow, but looks to Golder and nods in the affirmative.
Well, that's all I've done.
Mm-hmm. And
Sure will.
as you approach, the smith pauses in his hammering on this piece of work that he's doing, looks up at you, looks at the man that he'd been talking to, wander away, looks at you. Hello there. How can I help you? Here for a
Well,
bit of work, are you?
I wouldn't mind looking at some half plate myself.
Half plate. Looks at you. Got some that might fit you, but bit of adjustments. Work really well.
I'm
Uh,
just seeing what you've got so I can get the old money together.
generally for a set of half plate, I'd be looking for 750 gold.
Oh, that's not too bad at all. I've got most of it. Just need the rest. Might try my hand at a few competitions, etc.
How much are you out?
Let's see, how much have I got? I've got 618 at the minute, so I'm about 130
32.
something. 132, yeah.
If you want, I could sub that to you and pay you back when you get your win, no matter where it comes from.
Aye, that'd be right dandy of you.
Yeah.
Or if we could maybe we could take it out of the party funds and I can put it back in again. I don't want to be leaving you without any money. I mean, I'm not going to have any money left, but
He laughs and says, "I just did some good business. Don't worry, I'm fine."
oh, all right then.
I think you walked away with like 700 gold from the scorpion tails.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right then, Master Smith.
Okay, so
Let's
that
see if
is
you're.
2 seconds. Just let me.
Aye.
1, 3, 2. Remove. Yep, so that's done. So, yep,
So I've
continue.
now got 750.
No worries, which disappears immediately as the smith brings out this half plate, sturdy construction. Looks like, as a dwarf, you look at it, inspection, it seems like really solid work.
Mm-hmm. Well, shall we get to tweaking and getting it right? And I take off
Yes.
my old armour and just go, tell me, is this worth anything towards it?
What is it?
It
Dwarven
is
spiked armor, isn't it?
Dwarven spiked armour, yeah. That was given to me by the elves, I think.
It was. I'm just trying to find how much it's worth.
About 75-ish, I think.
75 gold. He goes, looks at it, goes, I can give you 30 gold for that.
35?
Persuasion.
This is not going to end well, probably. At 9.
Oh, I'm sorry. It looks fairly worn. It's about the best I can do for you.
Aye, all right then, go on. It was worth a try.
So mark yourself back up 30 gold and
Yeah.
and add that half plate to your items.
Oh, bloody thing.
Question, Varus, Tenya, where did you guys end up? Did you after that?
Tanya would have followed Golder and Colwyn to the smithy.
Okay, so you're at the smithy. Varus, where did you end up? Yeah, press the wrong button.
Varys should have Varys pissed off, walked back to called Millie back for comfort, and walked back to the keep and went.
Okay. Just as a note, so I know where everyone is, I'm going to have to do a scene swap at some point,
Hmm.
so I know who's where. Okay.
Nice, I've gone up an armor class.
He smiles. Is there anything else that I can do for you, gents and ma'am, lady?
Perhaps not
Probably.
yet for me. Just bruising.
Okay.
Well, aren't you wanting materials to craft stuff?
Yeah, well, yes, but I don't really have anything other than the party fund at this point.
That's what it's there for, lassie.
Hmm?
That's what it's there for. Party
When do you
fun,
think
you're
we're going to
part of the
have an
party.
opportunity to spend this kind of cash?
Get on with it.
Well, yeah, but this is for I'm thinking of materials for personal project. I think it's not really something to benefit the whole group. It's more like
Well, it
personal.
is because you'll be better armed, so it will benefit the group. So get on with it.
Well, in that case, she's bruising and she's gonna see what she can get for materials.
I need to look at your weapon. We never actually discussed the actual cost of.
Yes.
It was something we were meant to do, but we never got around to.
Mhm.
So you've got part of the magical components with that scroll.
Yep.
What did you say it was based off?
It's based off a revolver.
Revolver, flintlock, or what's the actual name of the weapon you based it off?
Revolver.
Revolver. Price. Okay. How much would firearms cost?
I mean, some of that cost
It's
is
not
somebody
common.
making it.
Revolver, 150 gold pieces? Really?
They're quite
A
Ah,
rare
normal,
items.
a normal pistol is 250, and the revolver is 150. Yeah.
Yeah, righto. I
Yeah,
thought it'd be
they're
more.
not cheap.
They're not expensive either.
No.
For the base, okay, 150 gold for the base materials, man. And you'll have to make a few rolls on it. You know what? Since you're making it yourself, because part of that would be the craftsmanship that goes into it.
Yeah.
Roll a d20 for me. Let's see how generous I feel for you. Yeah, it's going to be 115 gold worth of materials for you.
I'll mark that off the bag of holding.
Okay. That's fine
'Cause
by me.
like I said, some of the cost would be the craftsmanship. Like if you're going by the base materials that you yourself are still going to have to make rolls for, it's going to reduce the cost.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
Right. Have you got what you need
So
there,
you said
lass?
115, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 115.
So we're down to 268 in the bag of holding.
I own
I
Colwyn money.
think
I'm not sure this is a good idea.
I think that's pretty much the entirety of the components you needed for it as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
You are going to have to spend money for the +1 enchantment on it that you are going to have to do. But you've got the Solon Scroll, which is one of the components. You've got the material components for the frame and whatnot, which you can create. You can create the weapon, and then you can add the enchantments to it in the construction at a later point.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
You
I
can
have a
get the
component to
basic
make
frame
a
there,
regular revolver. Yeah.
which should be the base before you moved on to enhancing it to where you want it,
Mm,
your customization.
very nice. Are you feeling a bit happier now, Tanya?
I am.
Good.
Good.
Well, when you find Varys, make sure you make a nice apology.
Eh, fine.
He is so socially inept.
Tanya. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tanya's yeah.
She's
But
she's a very strong sociable person.
does anybody else need things like armor or weapons or
Yes.
upgrades things?
I would actually like a breastplate or something, but it's not something that's in an immediate necessity.
Well, what kind of breastplate do you need? Is it medium armor that you're after?
Yes.
The
It's a
halfling there looks
I'm
up
out of
and goes,
character.
calls
It's,
out, I've got to get back to hammering this. I'll get the boss out to talk to you. And calls
Right,
out, where's that boss's name? I've got too much here. Where did I put that? Shit. See somewhere? I've got too many notes for this damn place.
okay.
That was there. Did I? Vincent! Master Day! And a burly human comes out, looks at you, looks at the halfling, goes, I'll take care of this. You get that. Keep working on that work order. How can I help you there, lads? Ma'am?
Well, I've just got some very nice half plate here. I'm very impressed with the quality, sir. My compliments.
Looks at it and goes, he did some fine work there. He's almost ready to go for his own forge.
I would say so. You've taught him
Halfling
exceedingly well.
face turns a bit bright red, embarrassed and proud.
Right, credit where credit's due. Anyway, my friend here is maybe looking for something in the chest plate kind of.
A breastplate,
Aye,
yes.
thinks, taps his finger to his lips. It'll set you back about 400 gold.
mm,
Well, at least I know.
Hey,
aye,
knowledge is half the battle.
aye. Well, that's the thing. We're earning as we go, so I'm hoping that we can get back and get her get her that breastplate for her. But we would needed to know rough prices and quality of work. But going by this armor, I'd say the quality is not a problem.
Hey, make every effort.
Aye, it's good work you do here.
We'll be here for the duration of the trade season.
Aye,
And you
just
keep
would
getting
be.
this message, we'll be here for the duration of the trade season from everybody you
I
talk to.
kind of gathered that from everybody, really. It's good money to be earned. You
Hey,
wouldn't happen to have seen a dwarf. Looks a little like me, scar across his eyes, but with sort of gingery red hair kicking about, would you?
I've seen several dwarfs. Gingery red hair? I can't say as I did. I do think I saw one talking to Mr. Kaplan across the way there.
Really? Oh, that's very interesting. Mr. Kaplan, you say, would that be a tailor by any chance?
Yeah, right across the way there has a tailor shop, Silken Dreams, is it?
Silken Dreams, yes.
I think we might have to go in and pay him a visit then.
Hey,
He's
well
one of my
travelled sort.
you know.
There's a shop over in Sose. Comes here for the trade season.
Aye, fantastic. Thank you very much, sir. Your work, and I'll definitely pass on your reputation to my clan. This is excellent work.
No,
Thank you very
problem.
kindly.
Greatly appreciated. It's a fine compliment from one of your people.
Aye, well, credit where credit's due, sir.
Greatly appreciated.
Thank you very kindly.
Was there anything else that I could assist you gentlemen with?
I don't know if the others need anything particularly. Colwyn, do you need anything from this lovely gentleman? Armor or
He kind of looks down at his. Pretty sure it's gambeson that I'm wearing.
are you light armor?
I
Yes.
think he's probably in studded leather or something like that, or leather.
Yeah, leather armor.
Yep.
You don't want to take that up to studded? Just increase your armor class by 1?
Well, I'll ask him if he's got anything in my size in stock. So I look into get an upgrade on my current gambeson. You got anything my size but nicer?
Working metal, lad. You look like you're more interested in leather gear. Taps the chest of your leather armor.
Aye, true enough. But depends on the place.
Where would we find a good
is-
leather worker?
Ooh, off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. If you were looking for robes and such, I'd suggest Mr. Kaplan across the way, but for leather, couldn't tell you.
We'll keep our eyes peeled. I appreciate your time here, and
Sorry about this.
yeah, all be well with you, sir.
And yourself too there, lad.
Smiles politely. They leave. And now we wait. Oh, this is a good opportunity for Tristan to get up to some
we will
shenanigans.
switch to Varus, heading back to the keep.
Varys basically calls off Millie, and he is shaken by this. He's
Chirps,
really
lands on
pissed
his
off.
shoulder.
Yeah, he's using Millie as like a comfort animal at this point in time.
You get image of several dwarves. Several of them are actually just Gulda from different angles, but no red-headed dwarves.
He heads back to the keep to fire Eldritch blasts at dummies. In all honesty, he's pissed off. Nothing much.
Okay,
I'm back.
welcome back. So you head back to the keep, and you just blast some to the firing range air and just blast targets for a while, trying to cool off. And we'll leave you there, will we? Or is there something else you wanted to play
Yeah,
out? Or
I just need to go and get me mum her lunch. So I'll be
yeah,
back in
you're right,
5
mate.
minutes.
No worries. Ferris, was there anything you wanted to extend from that scene there, or? Nope. Okay.
Thank you, though.
Okay, so that brings us back to the crowd at the blacksmith. Let's try attempt to buy time for Phil to get back there. It just didn't work.
Sorry for that.
You're right.
Hey, sometimes things don't always work out the way you want.
Nope. Anyway, what do you guys want to do while we're waiting? We can move forward without him a little bit. There are several sort of games and events going on around nearby that you guys could have a crack at while you're waiting.
I was going to suggest if we need a filler, I could take Tanya and the Steel Defender, who I assume has been around somewhere, and go visit Jack, saying, right, well,
do you
if he's
know where
got,
Jack is?
oh, I can find him through the butchers, can't I?
You know where the okay. Let's play that scene.
Well, actually, that's a good point. Where, because I did say I wanted to make contact with members of the guild, so I knew where to go and who to see. But I'm not sure if that ever.
Yeah, I don't think you ever asked Kitty where they were, where to meet them, or did you? Because she would have said something if that was the case.
Well, if they wanted him questioned, then
That's a good point.
I'm back.
Hello. Never mind. I'll have
well,
to
the
work
important
on
thing
that.
is we at
Hey,
least were
Bugabell.
able to go. Who would know what? We would know this. Very good.
Big by the Phil.
Huh?
Or I had to. Oh, we were getting to something we hadn't actually thought about that would have been a reality, and me going, crap, I didn't think of that.
Ah.
DMing
No,
for the win.
it's all good.
I would have
Okay.
taken me.
What was Ed trying to do this time?
Oh, it's a whole meeting with Jack bit that I haven't really sorted yet, and where that'd be.
Right. Well, first, let's go and talk to the Silken. What do you call it?
Yes, but wanted you here for that.
Mr. Kaplan.
Yes, let's go and have a little chat with Kaplan, shall we?
You literally cross the street there to this large tent, several racks of fine tailored goods. He's got a table there. He's measuring something with cloth. This cloth on. Would you like to describe what they see there, Mr. Go? After you stop pumping. That. Are you okay?
Please hold while we try and connect you.
No. He's just coming back inside. He was just out there, outside from the sound of he's having a coffin fit.
Ah.
I think someone's smoking like right outside the damn window.
Yeah. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. No, that'll do it. People have got no manners.
I thought manners were picking up shit in the road.
Oh dear.
If you got that joke, you are X years old.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. Can I play a teeny bit of DM here?
Mm-hmm.
All right. How much notice do you guys take of the stall as you approach?
Fair bit.
Do you actively investigate? Otherwise,
As a note for you are two of them are aware that he's a crownsman.
all right. So two of them have noticed the little crownsman insignia. All right.
No, they've been informed that
They're
he's a crownsman.
outright told.
Oh,
Yeah, we
all
were
right.
outright told about it. Yeah.
All right. I don't remember that, but okay.
Not by you. This because you weren't aware of it. It was in a DM sent to them due to a note that was passed to them by
all right.
a member of the Shadow Hand.
All right. No, all right. Sorry. Never mind me. All right. You see this you see this banner made of actual like silk and like a little crown holding it together in the center, and then silk on one side and dreams on the other side, and such finery. Sorry, I'm not good with describing shit.
It's
No,
all
you're
right,
Idiot.
dude.
good.
Take your
Boss.
time. You're doing fine.
Take a moment. Just practice.
Yeah. You see bolts of fine fabric in the back. You see a couple of apprentices working on some cutting tables and a couple of like sewing machines in the back as well, with an apprentice or two there as well. And yeah, and you see this person who you assume is Mr. Kaplan. He's nondescript. He's wearing like something bordering on fine clothes, but he's got glasses, but he's the type of person that you wouldn't take a second look at if you saw him in the street.
Got you.
He is very average. Basically, he's got a white shirt on, finely cut, but not so obviously ostentatious. It's plain, but finely made. A waistcoat. What colour's the waistcoat?
I'm gonna go with a a, a, a light black. A light black.
So, a darkish grey, light black. Long pants, shoes. It's all well made, but it's not ostentatious.
Got you.
Unless you really look at it, you don't realise how well made it is. But it's to be expected. He's a tailor, but
Mm.
outside that, he's just average. At his belt, he's got a sheath. At first, you think that it's a dagger, but after a moment, you realise that it's a set of tailoring shears.
Mm-hmm. That
Looks
doesn't make me feel any safer, if I'm being honest.
That's because you know what he is. He looks up, smiles. Hello, gentlemen. How can I help you? And again, voice. It doesn't stand out. There's nothing about this man that calls attention to him. He is just amazingly average.
Mr. Kaplan, I wonder if I could have my colleague Colin here, if we could have a quiet word. I hate to do this right
Certainly.
up front, but this is a private matter that we'd like to discuss with you.
Come on in. We obviously don't do measurements out in open.
Of course, sir. Thank you. Tanya,
Takes
that
you
is
within the tent
you for a
to
moment. We'll explain later.
takes you into the tent. It's a large tent to a back
Mhm.
room, which is part quarters. There's a bed, several chairs, small table. He goes across. Tea, cave, something a bit stiffer.
Oh, Carvey wouldn't go amiss at this point in time. I'm sorry
I'm
to
grand,
have
thank
to
you.
be a little upfront out there, but I'm
Quite
afraid
all right.
it regards somebody by the name of Oleg.
Pauses, turns to look at you.
One of my clan.
I see.
By the way,
Darkfist, then.
mm-hmm, I'm
Pleasure to meet you,
Ra-
sir.
pleased to meet you. Um, we've been hearing troubling rumours. By the way,
As you're
Roger
saying
sent-
this, you see him. It's kind of a relaxed pose, but his hands resting on those set of shears at his waist.
by the way, Roger sends his regards from Rivers Meet.
Visibly relaxes.
And
Haven't
also
seen
a rather,
must have seen James in years.
of course, I do believe he's let's go with high up in your organization, if I could be so bold.
Smiles, but his eyes, it doesn't reach his eyes, and they are a little cold. And
I'm
the
sorry for
stare,
being.
it is
Yeah,
a
I'm
hard
sorry for
stare
being.
he's giving you at the moment.
I'm sorry, I'm being a little blunt. We've worked with Roger, and yes, he's rather given us something to look into because it crosses paths with what we're looking into. I'm afraid Oleg's been a bit of a naughty boy.
I see.
He's been appears to have been doing things that he really, really shouldn't, and he's rather annoyed Roger whilst doing so.
He comes over after making cave, hands it to you,
Thank you, sir.
seats himself.
I'm grateful.
I
Again,
think you need.
I do
I think I'm-
apologise for the manner of us coming here today in this way, but I feel it's best to be out in the open in these matters.
Understood. I believe I need some background information.
And I relay to him what Oleg's been up to.
Browns. Yeah, I had wondered. I'm sorry. Honestly, I've been out of country. He looks around, motions to someone outside, has a quiet word, sits back down. I'm sorry, they're just going to make sure that no one's close enough to be listening. You understand, of course.
Of course.
Uh, I don't operate within Soul's Card. I,
See.
to be blunt, you're already aware that I am a crownsman and what that organization is.
Of course.
I was a handler. I had been an agent. And you see, he is an older man. He's not young anymore.
I understand.
Um,
You see,
I,
the problem we have is that Oleg, rather
let me
unfortunately, has.
One moment, please. Let me finish.
Of course.
Roger St. James contacted me in Saisei, and we have been having issues in Saisei. I've discovered moles and agents within my own network there that I cannot trust. At Master St. James's request, I've been reactivated into the field.
I see.
So I will most certainly keep an eye out for Oleg.
A very naughty boy.
You say I'm not. You say you're opposed to him using your clan name?
Of course, everything that he does, if it reflects on us, that ruins our reputation, and we take it seriously. So much so
Understandable.
that my clan chief has actually put out word that he is to be killed on sight.
Blinks. I see.
I'm
I will
afraid
say
he's
that.
gone beyond the pale on this one.
Wow. Hmm. Anyway, he did come
However,
by. He did come by here the other day, um, and to have a conversation. It didn't make a lot of sense. He wanted to know about. He was asking questions about elves and the Gillison household and
I see.
Dragon Watch Keep.
Dragon see.
I couldn't give him any more information than I've been able to give you. I've only just arrived from Saisei, and as I said, I haven't operated out of Salzgard in many years. But I
I
think that's why I was brought back, is because
Yeah.
Master St.
Noting.
James knows that he can trust me, whereas he's probably unsure as to who he can trust within his own organization with the troubles.
I see. Well, if Master St. James trusts you, then I trust you. And I fill him in on how I came upon his name and the Shadow Hand and how they're having problems.
He blinks. The Shadow Hand, you say? And his expression goes hard.
Aye, I had the same response too. But it turns out that there's a faction within them. The Shadow Hand, according to him, is looking to try and reconcile with the elves and become an official part. I suppose in the same way that the Crownsmen are with the people of Solsgard. But there's a faction within them that have been actively working against that and are working against them, and they'd very much like them to meet their end in interesting ways, apparently.
You watch as Mr. Kaplan sighs heavily, leans back, closes his eyes, lifts his cup of tea, takes a sip. It seems that everyone in the underworld, in the intelligence world, are having the same problems.
Aye, it certainly seems that way.
And they seem like they're trying to get us to go to war with each other.
That would be to their advantage, I'm going to guess. Because if you're fighting each other, that's when we're all going to be at our weakest and they can move in with their plans, I would have thought.
It seems so. It's come at this point, it's finding out who is behind it all
Well,
before
aye.
the cancer grows too strong, too virulent.
Well, I have managed to persuade my clan chief to hold off on the death order, but it is only a delayed one. What he is suggesting with other organizations as well, that he be captured and questioned, old Oleg.
I think we need to know who we can trust and start talking to each other.
I think so. Olwen?
Yeah. So, how to put this? It's clearly a situation, big, complex one, frustrating one. Obviously starting by putting out feelers, but we're also looking to see if we can't bring him out of the woodwork.
That's the thing. I mean, Oleg is merely what we've seen, a single loose thread in the pattern.
Maybe so, but we've got to start somewhere.
Once we start pulling that thread, we'll see how it unravels, I guess.
Precisely.
Yep.
And yes, Taylor references.
Well, obviously.
I wasn't going to
I was
say
kind of
anything.
expecting that, if I'm being honest. Are you going to introduce what organisation you're from, Ed? Are you,
I
likely to be-
represent Jack.
Jack of all trades.
No, Jack and Jill. Yes.
Oh, I've never heard Kitty called Jill, but okay.
I said it. Live to tell the tale. That's how good I am.
Well. Well, that live to tell the tale is to be seen.
to be decided.
Guess that comes all down to how well she likes you.
Oh, well, she likes you plenty. I've got this nasty scar from her on my back. It's great. She made it look like a face. Anyway, that's enough about that. The point is,
smiles
you
and
know,
goes, and says softly, "You've certainly got big brass ones, don't you?" Anyway, sorry I interrupted you, sir.
so that's who I represent in this particular fixture.
We need to. Everyone needs to talk to each other. I think Jack and Master St. James need to talk. If not representatives of them, we need to. We need to work together. We're all going to die together.
Aye, well,
Bad boys for life.
Right, well, you can certainly count on my clan if we need the help.
Be nice
Because
to have a outside group mediating.
I'm all for that.
Neutral
I've got-
territory.
Absolutely. I can certainly have a word with the clan chief. I'm sure he'll be very up for it. He's probably going to appoint me anyway, so I'll have a quiet word with him. No one else, no further.
Be greatly appreciated.
I'm sure we can arrange something where we can all meet up.
I will leave that in your capable hands, and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. So, if you can, and your people keep an eye out, we'll endeavour to do the same. I think with more eyes on finding Oleg, the better. But we have a little plan maybe to draw him out by entering into the grand melee and advertising, particularly my presence because he really doesn't like me, and trying to get him to show up. What do you think?
If he has cause to dislike you, I mean, he always struck me as someone to hold grudges. I've known the man in more than a few years. He's even spent some time at Saisei. He kept. He used to bitch and moan about the bosun on the ship he served on, and how he'd got him.
Aye, I'm glad my reputation precedes me.
Oh, that was you.
Why?
Yeah, he's gonna want to kill you on sight.
Excellent, because the feeling's mutual. But don't you worry, I can handle myself.
Miles politely.
Right. Look. So what I'm getting out of this is that in order to facilitate everyone getting as close to what they want as possible, there needs to be a meeting on neutral ground that all must agree to. I'm open to suggestions.
Well, if the Dark Fist clan wants to mediate, as having no interest in either sort of field, they're not part of the All Trade, they're not part affiliated with the Crownsman or the Shadow Hand. And the Wolves are known for their, well, lack of giving a damn and willingness to break heads at signs of trouble to keep things going.
Aye, but I can't argue with that.
I mean, it would be, a safe place to talk and, without accusations, get to the root of it and start hunting traitors and see about unraveling that thread. This, of course, is just my suggestion.
Aye, sounds good to me. How about you, Colin?
Yeah. Well, at the very least, we can see about staying out of people's way enough.
Hmm.
Well, I'd suggest that at this point, as my enemy's enemy is my friend. So, but hopefully we can foster better links so that people can liaise on a more regular basis. Because I dare say most of the things that you guys are wanting are probably quite similar. Although you have your own agendas, obviously. But,
Older.
But we shall see what we shall see. That's all going to be down to the meeting and the discussions.
Older.
Aye.
What does being lazy have to do with anything?
Shut up. Really, Colin? I give up sometimes.
He kind of looks at him blankly, just like that. I'm not kidding. I've got no idea what that means. Yeah,
worry.
sorry, carry on.
I'll explain it to you later. Don't worry, laddie. Right.
Okay.
So, sir, thank you very much for your time. I have to say,
This
'cause
is T has a
magnificent
sip.
shop you have here.
Greatly appreciated. We do our best here at Silken Dreams.
Oh, of course. It's your best is beyond superb, sir.
Smiles.
At least he's trying to be diplomatic. He's not noted for his charm, Golder.
Still doing a better job than Tenya does.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Isn't Tanya's charisma stat one of the highest?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, in my mind, it's a thing of that means that they are capable of being very charismatic. It does not mean that they will always be charismatic.
She has a charisma of 8, -1 modifier.
Really?
Oh, oh, that's nice and fitting then. Thank God. I was starting to worry there for a second.
No,
Are you based
she's
off
very
int?
awkward.
It's int, isn't it? The high stat for a artificer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
intelligence is my main stat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
Charisma is my drop stat.
Golders is also 8, but he's taking some of his cues from his cousin, who he's learning off.
Oh God, that's a yeah. Her cousin's a damn troublemaker.
Yes, I know he is.
That's
But
a
he's
bad.
the only reference he's got.
Oh God, help you.
But
Is
he,
that
at least
troublemaker and a rogue?
But bosuns have to be sort of be able to get anything done. Really, they have to be able to be quite good at this sort of stuff.
You
Really.
can't be subtle about it.
No, which is
Or
why
you can't even.
he's not subtle, but he is. You know, he's a decent enough bloke. He's just
Yeah.
not subtle. He's
I
about
mean,
as subtle as a well-thrown half brick.
when stuff's got to get done and done in a hurry, you can't be polite about it either.
Exactly.
You know, and
That's typical bosun.
yeah.
But anyway, he thanks Kaplan profusely for his time, and off they go to wherever next we're going.
Where are you going?
I was going to say, how are we for time in terms of kind of next scenes and stuff? Because I get the impression that certain people have had, whether by chance or by design, a bit more screen time than others. So,
Well, yeah, maybe back to Varys and see what he's doing. Might be a good idea at this point. Is he likely to go and
Varys.
see Denzin?
Find out.
Garrus is still pissed off. So, in all honesty, until someone comes and chats to him, whether that be one of you guys or whether Adrian or Carrick find him, he's really got nothing on. Just playing the character like I would.
Yeah. Does Denzin hear his blasting away and the rest of it and go and find him? Because I can always do that if you like, Ash.
Yeah, we can do that. Denton might be puttering around, whatever. He spends most of his time at the keep. So you can go with that if you want.
He's got all the flower beds and he's got a bush to sort out. Which until recently had a dwarf and a and a Grimnir lodged in it. I think he's probably going to be slightly annoyed at that.
Oh, yeah.
So Denzin's there sort of trimming up this bush and probably sees Varys go over and then sees him blowing 7 bells out of these targets.
And the walls behind them.
Yeah. His garden isn't behind that wall, is it?
Yeah, possibly.
So, Varys, you see a slightly scrawny looking minotaur, you know, rough clothes and the rest of it. I think you've seen the picture anyway of him, haven't you? It's in the chat somewhere. I'm sure I put it in somewhere.
I think I've heard the rough description: blunt horn, scrawny, etc.
Yeah. Well, his picture that you see going over, I think, is in. Actually, if we got a pictures, pictures and videos, I think he's in. Yes, he is. Yeah. He hasn't got the crossbow and the rest of it. No visible weapon really on him, but he's got some secateurs in his hand that he's been trimming the bush with, and he goes over. Ah. Young Master Elf, a moment of your time if I could. He has a very calm voice.
Okay. Personal check. 11. He stops. Varys stops, and he somewhat calmly turns towards him. If I would have rolled any lower, he would have tried to blast Jensen by mistake out of anger.
You seem troubled, sir. I am merely the gardener here, but part of my garden's on the other side of that wall, and I'd rather not have a big hole there. So if you could just sort of blow the hell out of the targets, I'd be most appreciative. Also,
Varys looks up to see how much he's been missing.
Roll a d20 for me, just a one.
Yeah, I want to know how accurate he's been.
19.
It's only been 1 or 2. But there has been 1 or 2 still. As you know.
You do seem a little troubled. Is there anything I can help you with? Perhaps just to talk. Works wonders, you know.
One of my friends said something grossly insensitive to me. And
oh dear. It's always bad when a friend misspeaks, or perhaps occasionally is misunderstood. Perhaps you could tell me what they said.
he's afraid of chipping one. What was it? Chipping one of his nails.
Yeah, pretty much.
I see.
Yeah. And it's like this person doesn't see me. Doesn't see what my family stands for. He doesn't see what I did, who I am at all. You see,
perhaps they don't understand. Perhaps they are ignorant of your family's aims and goals in this world. I take it you are of the Gillison clan?
I am. Although it's not just my family's goals. It's like they
your
don't.
own cause.
It's like they don't. It's like everyone. It's like this person wants to see me as a rich brat. I'm not a rich brat. I'm not a rich brat. I do not go around waving my. I do not go around waving my money. I do not go around demanding sparkly, shiny things. I do not go around demanding that people kneel or take some kind of magical procession because I'm here. Do you know? Do you know what I trained in? I trained as a medic because I want to help people. And
a noble cause.
And I don't.
Noble cause.
And it's not that I want to help only the rich. I want to help everyone. I mean, I know that helping everyone is never, ever, ever going to happen.
Of course. But having the goal there, that aim, that lofty aim, the closer you get, the more that you will help people. I understand. I understand. By the way, I grow some rather fine herbs in my garden.
You're
I'm
the
sure many of them have healing properties too.
you're the gardener?
I am the gardener here, yes, sir. More the sort of groundskeeper. I just keep the beds and the flowers, and I must admit I was slightly annoyed at that great big Norseman and dwarf being found in one of my bushes this morning. Most inconvenient. Having to trim back the bushes, and I hate to think where some of the leaves have been.
Given the state he was found, make sure he's gone before you start trimming the bushes.
Oh, he was.
Um,
But perhaps him being there and me giving him a trim as well so that he doesn't do it again might have been in order. And you see a slight smile. He's trying not to grin. At the point.
and at this point, Varys actually cracks a smile. Thank you
Ah,
for bringing a smile back to my face. Thank you.
you are more
Sorry,
than welcome,
your
sir.
name is
My name is Denzin Jaggedhide.
hi Denson. I'm Varys.
Pleased to meet you, Varys. As I say, I have many plants and of healing and nature and variety. I grow them well. I care for them. I have also wood which I'm reasonably proficient at carving. Should you need any? Um,
Actually,
ooh,
I have a let's call it an art project. I need assistance with.
very very well. What is it that you require?
You may or may not have heard that recently my brother, recently when my brother Aimer was killed.
Oh dear, I hadn't heard, but
We
it's troubling,
yes,
and
we
I'm very.
are
You have my condolences, sir.
whilst we are lacking his body, there is an elven tradition to make. There is an
Ah,
elven tradition where we make a body out of wood to represent a body out of wood and a body out of herbs and
yes, an
leaves.
elven effigy. Yes, I
Yes,
have heard of this. Yes, I think I can help you with that. Um,
of course, I'll be happy to pay
do
you
you
for
know
any
if you have
time
a
and resources.
if you have a painting or a picture of this gentleman, that would really help. Otherwise, I'm going to need a bit of a description in order to get it.
Um, me,
Minor illusion.
um, at this point, he's pretty much like me, but he twinkles his fingers and stuff, and a
Oh, I
mind,
dare say,
and you see the minor changes.
does your uncle have perhaps a painting of you and your brother or something of that nature? I would have thought that a family as fine as yours would have some sort.
I'm sure a family portrait was in the possessions that was brought along.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, if you can check with him, that would be, and I could see it. I could probably get very close to at least a good effigy. I'm not a master craftsman by any means, but I'm not bad. I can certainly get it very close, and if any more refinement is needed, perhaps I can have a word with a carpenter friend or two to come and do the fine detail.
That would be appreciated.
Is there any particular kind of wood that you favour as elves?
I believe it
Perhaps
would. I believe it
perhaps your
would.
uncle would know if there's anything particularly related to your family. Perhaps your family always makes the effigy out of rosewood or alder or ash, for example. I'm sure each family has its
Oi,
tradition.
making it out of ash.
Um, at this point, at this point, Varus says, It should be made out of some kind of wood, preferably from a tree which grows in the great wood somewhere.
Yes,
but
I do have a couple that I can that were transplanted here from the Great Wood. I'm quite proud that I managed to get them to grow. If I'm being honest, I can certainly do that as because we must honour our fallen in the best way that we can. I am willing, reluctantly, a little, because the tree is dear to me. But I'm more than happy to cut and prepare the wood for said effigy. Would you, uh, if you could introduce me to your uncle, so I make sure I get this absolutely right, and perhaps see the picture? Could we go there now to do this?
I believe we can check. I do not know Carrick's schedule off the top of my head.
Well, we can always go and try.
Exactly.
After you, Master Varys. You know the way, of course.
So you guys start heading up. At this point, Colwyn and Golder and Co., you would be starting to move towards your next point. Traveling, not actually there.
Mm-hmm. So, when I was learning to read first time, I wasn't too good with it. It was in between jobs. I was young, and there was this place on a map that I'd asked this guy, Banjo. Never found out why he was called Banjo. To read from where I said, Banjo, Banjo, I want to go here. He says, why do you want to go there? I said, because it's the shoom. I want to find out what's the shoom. He said, go on, that's woods upside down. Those are the woods. I was really disappointed.
Well, reading and writing's not easy when you first do it, is it? Let's face it, we've all made cock-ups in that regard.
Yeah. Although I
Mispronouncing
doubt
words.
anyone here has accidented a place for the shoom.
Oh, I don't know. I was taught to navigate on a ship before I was to read maps, really. You know, bit of coastline here and there, that's all I got. But eventually I got the hang of the reading and writing. Came in handy too, being a bosun. But we all have our troubles when we start out. You've got to learn to walk before you can run.
I bet Tanya's got a few stories scurried away of some of the things that she's invented that didn't quite make it off the chalkboard or whatever it is that you design things on.
Everything
Tanya,
I make
come
is perfect.
We'll go and ask Gertie about that, shall we?
Let's not.
And Golder is crying with laughter at this point. Oh, you good company, you
You
two.
cannot
We'll go with
hide forever.
I can attempt.
You're walking down the street, heading towards.
Actually, that's a good point. Where are we going to go next? Have we bought everything that we needed to? Obviously, Vanny hasn't, but actually, it might be a good idea for us to go and get lunch, perhaps at that pub that has a drinking competition.
So there's a drinking competition. As you're going along, actually, you hear baking competition. Who wants to be part of a baking competition? Put your hand
Did they
together.
say bacon or baking?
Baking. Show us what you can do for pastry. First prize is 100 gold.
Who's good at baking then? Tanya, didn't you say you're a bit of an alchemisty thingy?
I don't think that mixes well.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. She knows how to get a rise out of people. I couldn't help it. It just came to me.
Okay. Obviously, the one that I was directing it at has completely forgotten that he started in Summerford working for a group called the Bakers. But moving on.
Sorry, one thing. That was a long time ago, and it's been a very busy session. So I apologise.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll ignore the halfling that is probably a qualified baker and move on.
Hey, so none of us have got any baking skills then.
Arm
No.
wrestling. Who wants to get in? Get in and show us your muscles.
All right then.
That'll
do.
do.
You, sir, you look like you could handle your way around a kitchen. Oh, okay. Bye.
can
Colvin is
cut
going to
big
turn
lumps
and
of
look
meat
at the guy and just think, what? And sort of looks at himself, and is just thinking, am I missing something here? I feel like I'm missing something. Permission to spend my inspiration to suddenly
go
just
for
go,
it.
hey, wait a minute. He was talking to me.
Go for it.
He's a stranger in the shroom. Shroom.
The shroom. The shroom.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's going to become the name of the group now, isn't it? The Shrooms. Oh no.
The mighty
Right.
shrooms. Yeah.
Mighty Shrooms. The Great Shroom.
You go wrestle him. I'm gonna, if nothing else, check out the baked accoutrement that's over there.
Now you knew I didn't know that you knew your way around one of them bakery places. You got a secret past? All icing and currant buns?
Well,
There's something
all I
you've
can
not
say
been
is
telling
that,
us
like a
there,
donut,
Colin.
I got properly stuffed.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
God.
Go give it a check out. Go on, Tanya. We'll
Right.
go and see me get my arm broken.
Righto. We'll start with the baking competition. What have we got in the way of skills that we can do with that? You know what? That's proficiency plus, let's go with dexterity. To be able to move around quickly, efficiently, and have the actual knowledge and ability to do that.
Dex.
So that'd be
Dex
a
plus.
+6 to a straight 20 for you, Colin.
Ooh.
There's 7 other
Um,
participants.
sorry, you started throwing numbers at me. And,
So I want a D20 from you,
yep.
and we'll make that
+6.
several rounds.
Oh.
Okay, so that'll be a 26. So if you want to do 3 rounds of that, so first is the prep work, getting the ingredients right, which you nail.
Whoops.
Okay.
You have a bit of trouble with the mixing there when you get to it, so we get another D20 there. So you're slightly behind the ball there.
Mhm.
Another D20 Ed.
Who miss coming?
Is it just me, or there is
Oh,
one?
yep, that's me. Don't worry about it.
I was going to say, is it just me, or is there one number which hasn't come up on the dice roll feed for
Yep,
everyone?
don't worry about it. I'll actually get rid of a couple of these because I was using Colin's page for it. My bad. I didn't even realize I was doing that. I've got to go into something to actually use it, buddy, because unfortunately, as a DM, I don't have a freaking page here. EV Geek, there we go. I'm still in that.
On terrible.
I'll have to- So, you know what? I've confused the rolls there a bit, so we're going to start from scratch.
Oh, but his first roll was so good.
Yeah, that 20, 20's his. He can keep that. So,
Right, go on, Ed.
What happened? I got logged out. Am I coming through okay?
going through,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah.
How
Please
quick
continue.
do I do a roll as a DM? This is just freaking dice. Nope.
Yeah. Nice. That's a 20.
So looking at this, okay, so we're going to put that as a critical success, a success, and a just getting it. Now I need to figure out why the freak I can't go into. What's his name? Sorry, I'm sorting it out. I haven't had to do a lot of rolls. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So I've got that. All my rolls. Let's go. Load up already. So I've got. So anyway, like I said, the 20 I know was you straight up, and then there was Buddy. 18, 14. Right, so bit down a few balls here. No, I'm fine, Chris. I've got physical dice here if I need them. Okay, so looking at this, I've got 5 other competitors. First one, just ruins the ingredients, and a judge comes over, looks at it, looks at him, and he just kind of sighs, shoulder slump, and walks away from his prep area and kind of curls up into a ball in the corner and starts crying. The second one gets along really steadily, mixing the ingredients really well. Third one, again, just straight down, head desk moment, and just kind of stands there staring at the ingredients after a while. Third one, it seems to be doing okay, but you look across and the mixture, the texture isn't real great. So we'll continue going with those 3. There.
Please tell me one of them was just stoned and thought that they were going to have the chance to actually get some muffins, and just like, then looking at and just thinking, whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so that one that had that really good mix, he starts mixing it, preparing it, can't get the stove to light. He's just looking at it and going, oh, what's going on? Where do we put the special herbs, dude? The other 2 get it going. Great. And final roll from you as well, then.
Oh, right.
Versus. Just so I've got a current roll for you. So it's 17. Okay, so I'll say you've got 3 successes there. One was a critical success at the start. Success, failed, success for the second player, second contestant. Failure, 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 failure. Didn't even get off the ground. Success. Failure. And success. Success. Barely success. Success and barely success. You've got two other contestants that have decent products. You look at them at a glance, you just almost laugh to yourself, Colin, compared to your masterpiece. You already know you've won this. Just as a note, it was a 10 silver piece entry fee.
I'll knock that off.
Judges come around, look at yours, go to the next one, look at it, talk softly amongst themselves, and they seem to spend a lot of time at that second one, leaning in close, nodding, go to the third one, look at it, look at the baker, look at it, and just shake their head, come back to the second one, look at it again. Then they come over to you and go, "Congratulations, sir. You have, we believe, you have one. We still have to test them. Might we have a piece of whatever you prepared there?"
I
What have
call
you
it
prepared?
strawberry surprise.
Okay.
The surprise is there's no strawberries in it.
So they take a bite of your strawberry surprise and pause, and the biggest smile. "Oh, that's delightful, sir. What's a surprise?"
And you kind of see him counting down on his fingers, and then think of it as the fancy equivalent of sort of pop rocks. Kind of going. So you've first got the crunch, the fairly nice taste, and then you just kind of get a little explosion of flavour in there.
And her eyes pop open wide and goes, "Oh, that's delightful. That is a surprise."
Got to live up to its name, hasn't it?
I'll be back in a minute, guys.
There are many things in life I take seriously. That's one of them.
Between you and me, we think you've won. We do have to test the others. So that is it. You've truly outdone yourself.
Count myself lucky.
There you go. Check. Try the second one. Smile, nod. Go to the third one. Try it. The second judge actually runs out, finds a bucket, and empties the contents of his stomach. And so, creator of the monstrosity, whatever it is, just hangs her head in shame. Bright red.
Oof.
After he recovers, the second judge comes back over, looks at the baker, shakes her head, says something that you don't hear, but you gather that it's very scathing and not very polite.
Leave before we call the guard.
So as they come back to you, that baker looks around desperately into bolts. Congratulations, sir. They
I'm back.
bring out a small trophy that's shaped like a croissant and hand it to you, and a small pouch with 5 gold in it.
Hey, bada bing.
Wasn't it 100 gold, William? For that,
Yeah.
no. Was it?
I thought it was 100 gold. For
Was
that.
it? Okay, it's
Yeah.
100 gold. I forget. I must have forgotten. My bad.
To be fair, it is getting late and there's been a lot happening on here and much shenanigans.
Yeah, no. Hey, if I'd said it, call me on it. Like I said, I've said a lot of stuff and there's been a lot going on.
100
Yarp.
gold, eh? Lovely. Right, let's see if I can pay Colwyn back.
Freaking Colin raking in the money.
Oh, God, yeah. He really is. Right, come on then, arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling, let's go.
Hey.
Right.
How much is it to get in?
So we've got a 10 silver entry fee for this number of,
Right.
and there's 6 people in total there, including yourself.
And bear with me a minute. No, that is right. I think 10 silver. So I would have. Well, 10 silver's a gold, isn't it? So there you go.
Yep, pretty much.
Right.
It
Okay.
always blows my mind that thinking back, even just within the UK, within a couple of generations, that we were using a non-decimalized currency, and that the majority of the rest of the world were
Ed,
doing the
I
smart
remember
thing.
some of those coins still being in circulation.
Enough
Because,
said.
you know, we would, when I was a kid, obviously, it happened before I was born, but some of those coins were still kicking about when I was
Right.
a kid. So anyway, moving on.
So we got okay, so let's go. We got 3 elimination rounds here,
Mm-hmm.
6 contestants. So it's you versus a rather he's not the most built of the participants here, but he's stocky, well built human.
Mm-hmm.
Looks at you, grunts. Well, shorty, let's go.
I'm going to argue that I can use my athletics for this.
Yeah, I know it is athletics, man. You don't need to
Well,
argue. It's a contested athletics check.
Well, there's a 22 right off the bat.
So 22 versus, give me a tick for him to make his roll, which I doubt he's going to sort of come anywhere close near that. Matches you. He has exactly 22.
Really? Wow. Not as scrawny as he looks then.
I know.
Go
Next
on.
contested roll.
Oh dear.
That's an
So
11 versus your 20.
Yep.
So you move his halfway towards the table.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go again. Another one.
And athletics again. I'm getting worse here. 19.
You smash his arm into the table.
Mm-hmm. Shorty, eh?
Grunts in pain. Right, let me resolve these others real quick.
How are we doing, Ash?
Yep. Give me 2 seconds to eliminate some people there.
No, I don't know what the prize money is for this one, Ash. So you didn't say.
Didn't. Better saying, man, 100 gold.
All right.
Right. Roll a d20 for me.
A straight
We've
D20.
got three. Yep, straight d20. We've got 3 contestants left. We get to see who's gets a break and who gets the next round. Basically, you guys are doing rock paper scissors.
19.
So, yep. Guess what? You get to take a break while these other 2 chaps have a go at each other.
Fair enough.
You do really well on rock paper scissors, at least.
Well, yeah.
Okay, so out of the 2 of them, you see the big man, big arms.
Right.
And I'd say he's a big man. He's not exactly fit though, but he's got a lot of. He's a heavier set bloke, but he's doesn't look like he's an athlete, but he's got a lot of muscle to put into it, and he just almost breaks the arm of this other competitor. Well then, looks like it's just you and me.
Aye, best man to win. We'll have a beer
Well, I
afterwards.
plan on it.
Best dwarf to win. Right. We can always have a beer afterwards, win or lose.
Yep. Okay, so first round.
Dwarf tradition. You don't want one, do you?
I will tell you that he got literally a crit and that one on that.
Right.
So sneezing, you'll beat him on the first round.
23.
Oh god. Grunts in pain as you just lean into it, and he's barely holding his hand off the table. Next round.
Yeah, not so good. 15.
Which will be a 22 on your part. Oh no, that's okay. He slowly pushes back up till your hands are straight where they started, running with the exertion.
I thought I'd only get it up about halfway actually, but never mind. Okay. Oh god, that's exactly the same.
And now you're feeling the pressure as he leans and starts slowly pushing your hand back towards the table.
Well, all I can do is roll again. Can't even see that one. Oh god, that's terrible. 11. I'm gonna lose this.
No, you bring it back to the middle.
Righto.
He's looking at you now with respect in his eyes, but
22.
determination grunts as an effort, pushes, and you feel your hand start to move, and then you smile, and almost as if you try to make it look like you're not really putting any effort into it as you push his hand back towards the table. And he is sweating profusely now. Your
26.
sort of expression is just like, nope.
Nope.
You pause, you hold his hand there, and you smile, and without seeming any apparent effort, you roar and smash his hand into the ground, into the table.
Well,
You do it
looks
so
like the
hard and
beer's on
fast
me
that you
then.
hear a crack, and you think that you may have broken something in his arm, and he cries out in pain.
Rips. Beer's on me then.
Oh, thank you.
Landlord, get us a couple of dwarven ales if you've got them.
So someone runs over and goes, "Oh, we'll get right
And a
on." So,
healer.
and man, you see a holy symbol around his neck. Come running over and examine it. And you hear him cry, the arm wrestler cry out in pain as they straighten his arm, and healing applied. And,
Hey,
thank you,
sorry
Father.
about that.
Quite all right. Damn, you've got some bloody guns on you.
I hefting this bloody great axe about. That's what it is, and working a ship for most of my life. Right.
The judge
Yeah,
comes
I
over and
think-
hands you a pouch,
100 gold in it.
100 gold.
Right. And I go
you
and
head presented with a small trophy with
oh, lovely,
that has like a clenched fist.
lovely. Right. And I get the guy a beer. How much is the beer?
Dwarven ale, you said.
Yep. Get us
They,
both a dwarf now.
the judge goes, first one's free.
All
Hands you
right,
both
yeah.
a ale and goes,
Thank you very
that was a
much.
great contest, guys.
Yeah, it was really good, eh?
You really,
You've got a fair old arm on you there yourself, young man. That's very good. And I go across, find Colwyn.
he just in the process, you watch as one of the judges races off and heaves into a bucket and comes back, and Colwyn shortly after comes over, tossing a pouch of gold up into the air, which he pockets.
And I hold up a pouch of gold as well and give it to Colwyn. I said, well, there's 100 of it. I'll get you the rest as soon as I can.
Suit me down to the ground.
Right, you're making quite the profit today. Oh, and thanks for the loan earlier, by the way.
Well, we're more or less in this
I
together.
Didn't know that you were quite such a good baker there. Interesting. We dwarves like a good pastry. Always useful to know.
Every man, no matter
You're roboting out, man.
what,
You okay?
I will never talk about my past DNA. Oh, bollocks. Yeah, sorry, I need to get myself fixed on with an Ethernet cable instead of over the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you're coming through fine now, man.
Yeah. So what he was saying was every man must have a bit of mystery about them.
And that was a good mystery to have. I mean, come on, you've made a fair old profit today. So, what are we doing next? Going to the pub? Because I'd suggest at this point that we actually leave it for today.
Yeah, probably wind it up there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because that was
Little
good fun.
interesting little session.
Yes. Yes, it certainly was.
Breaking arms and baking cakes.
Yeah. Like it. Yeah, episode name. Anybody got any better suggestions?
Right, let's do the MVP starting with Colwyn. Who you got recommendation for?
Are you there, Ed? Speak to us.
Okay.
I think he's cutting in and out again.
Yeah, so much going. Tough, but I've got to go with Tristan for his kind of mental reaction and things to what was that. I found that was very interesting. And a good bit of role play, especially given everything else that was going on. So yeah, that's my vote.
Fair.
Oh, don't yawn.
Oh, dude, there's no escaping it. Righto, moving down one to Golda.
My vote. I like bits of everybody actually, and Tanya putting her foot firmly in her mouth was very funny. But yeah, I have to give it to Tristan as well. I thought that was really well role played. I thought it was really good and in character. I enjoyed that. Plus, I enjoyed him interacting with our gardener friend.
Yes. You've had
I
two
enjoyed that.
character. You've had two backup character introductions today,
Hmm.
Mr. Kaplan and the gardener.
Yes, and yeah, because yeah, Tristan did well on both of them, so I really
Mm.
appreciated that. So
Tenya.
I'll have to agree. I mean, I enjoyed the baking and arm wrestling participations. Really fun,
Yeah.
but I have to agree with the rest. Tris, with his
yeah,
roleplay and reactions.
No worries.
take your inspiration. just as a point, who would you have picked, Tristan?
Yeah. Sorry, I was in the middle
Alright.
of yawning, or I would have said it.
Yeah. Not that I can affect the outcome. Phil.
No, it's yours, all yours.
Yeah. Phil, you had some great bits.
Yep.
But I'm
Thank
going
you.
to have to mention a few quotes from Ed. Such as when Ed had the
We're
nugget.
getting the double mic effect again.
Sorry.
Yeah, like when Ed had the nugget of truth of you don't poison the cup, you don't poison the tea, you poison the cup.
Yeah, that was good.
And when he made the joke about Jack and Jill.
Yeah.
And managed to live with it.
That was good.
Yeah, everyone had some good bits, but I'd have to give second place if possible to Ed for playing Colwyn so great.
Yeah.
And of course to Ash for the NPCs and whatnot as well, as usual.
Absolutely, yeah. As always, they're always excellent. But yeah, I can't wait for Tanya to find a game that she's good at. Boom. Oh, right. Okay, you've won.
Boom.
Marksmanship, and the target just vanishes in a cloud of splinters. Ash?
Sorry, I was muted, so you weren't getting the double mic effect. I'm now lying on the couch like a lazy bugger.
Yeah, fair enough.
No, Varys taking inspiration. Name suggestions. Let's start at Varys and work our way up.
Baking cakes and breaking arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, but yeah, I got to go breaking arms and baking cakes as a suggestion.
Breaking cakes?
Breaking arms and baking cakes. We can do. We can switch the words around. We can switch the words around next week when we break cakes and bake arms.
Fair enough. I can't argue with it. I can't. I think it's a great name. Ed?
Yeah, that's it. I cannot improve on perfection.
I can't improve on that. That's a really good suggestion.
Fair enough. It wasn't even a name suggestion. I just
No, it just but it's very apt. It just works.
righto. Breaking arms and baking cakes.
Cool. Well, that was another very enjoyable, very good session.
I aim to please. Thank you.
And AI generated image for Colwyn's
Colwyn in the
baking,
kitchen.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it.
you've got to remember how the old trade actually works. They are literally tradesmen as a cover.
Mhm.
They work a lot like the crownsmen, except the crownsmen are almost always exclusively tailors.
Yes.
You know,
All trades
but
are every-
pretty much more senior members like of the old trade that have been there for a while and for a number of years have literally gone through an apprenticeship of some form. In Summerford, they're bakers. In Riversmeet, they're butchers, and probably something else in the various other cities, you know. So Colwyn is probably quite literally a qualified baker. because that's just the
Yes.
nature of how the all trade works.
Hmm.
And he's been pretty with the all trade for God knows how long now.
A fair number of years. There's a whole number of things that can be done with that, but that will become apparent anon.
Mm. Colwyn's like layers, onions. He's got layers.
Yeah.
And he's going to make you cry eventually.
I was thinking more along the lines of a layer cake today.
Mm. Yeah. You start at the bottom, you take shit. You move up, you take less shit. Soon, you don't even know what shit looks like. Welcome to the layer cake, son. I can't do a Michael Gambon impression.
Very few people can.
Yep. But yes, thank you very much. I'm glad that all good fun and everything was had. I'm still slightly on 6s and 7s, but
No, you're right, man.
yeah, and look forward to having the whole crew together.
Next week, yeah.
Yes.
I will put up a thing. Try to put up a thing today, if not today, tomorrow. Admittedly, I'm not surprised you forgot about the whole me sending you the comment about Colin probably being a baker, because that was some weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think it was after we introduced the all trade and Riversmead and exactly how they operated.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that was just a random thing, because I was like, oh, they're butchers here and Summerford, they're bakers. And I'm like, well, you know what? Colin's been with the Summerford crew for a while. He'd be part of that bacon thing. He would have spent time in the bloody bakeries as an apprentice.
Yep. Funny. But yes, I'm going to love you and leave you as things are cutting out and need to
Fair enough, Ed.
No worries, mate.
recollect. Okie dokies, folks. Have a good one.
See you next week.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
All right, let's end the stream there, guys. Thank you very much for watching. And,
Appreciate it.
And we'll be back next week with more with more broken bones and more baked goods.
Hi, DM says, thanks for coming. Sorry I'm not my usual energetic self.
Yeah, you're all right.
I'm usually a lot more chatty and sort of, hey, had people doing my job for me at the end there.